Hello!
Hey!
Thank you for joining us for session 27 of Pinnacles, a Wild Talents actual play. And, we're kind of changing things up a little bit.
So
today.
normal in the studio today.
So unlike all the other days when we just pretend I'm the one in charge, today I am the one in charge. But if you want to find all the other sessions of, Pinnacles, you can visit happyjacks.org/pinnacles. And to find all of the shows on the Happy Jacks Network, visit happyjacks.org. So yeah, I am Pooja, and I shall be your storyteller today as we continue to explore the world of cast-offs for our Jason Cinematic Universe.
No, Happy Jacks Cinematic Universe.
The Happy Jacks Cinematic Universe that is so far just the Jason Cinematic Universe. So please know that our game is a superhero game. We are kind of closer in tone to The Boys than we are to, say, animated Batman, but without some of the, more extreme hardcore things that The Boys gets into. We do have a set of lines and fails that we as a table have agreed upon. We have an X card system that, invisible to the audience if people feel comfortable using them. We have one that is just people being like, no, please stop. What are you doing? But because we use safety tools like everyone should be. And now that I've gotten all of the fun and exciting things on this list that is on this lovely piece of paper in front of me, let's go around and introduce ourselves. Enge, why don't we start with you?
Ooh, hey, I'm Enge. I play Chainsaw, the brawler biker, also known as a lot of other things. Sentinel, Frank, Francis, Leslie Mackenzie, Matt, Eli.
I played Hector, the telepath, who got to pilot a animatronic Captain Jack Sparrow. And shot it at Kraken. So wild.
Oh my god, I forgot about it, that Bill was Captain Jack Sparrow. Animatronic Captain Jack Sparrow. The best.
I'm Sarah, and I play Kit, or Caduceus, who is currently looking like a slutty little elf in the Spire universe.
We all ship it. Let's just be real. Chase.
And I'm Jason, and I am playing Heather, the pediatrician, who is also a neighborhood superhero. And I will get to her fantasy description when she arrives in the scene.
So cool.
It's gonna be so good. I'm really excited. Okay, so Sarah,
What happened?
what happened last time?
You know what's so great is that last week I was like, I cannot remember what happened last time for the life of me. And then this week I was driving here and I was like, it's back. I remember everything. It's just so convenient. So we decided to go to a world that was a little funkier than the other worlds that we had been to because, as Interstitial told us, H.E. Brian, punching a lot of holes through things, messed up a lot of worlds in a way that they didn't really know how it needed to be fixed, but they did know it needed to be fixed. So Interstitial said, y'all get in, assimilate thyselves, figure out the problem, fix the problem, get out. And we said, sure, that sounds normal and good. And assimilate ourselves meant that when we go to these worlds that are slightly very different from our own world, we can choose to keep exactly as we are and maybe fuck ourselves up super royally, or try to live in the reality of the world we're entering, which is markedly cooler as a concept. So why wouldn't we, So we decided to go to this first world. We find ourselves on a ship in the ocean, and all of us have really cool character descriptions that we'll probably all just rehash when we start playing the episode again. And we met Lucky, the cat folk pirate. Y'all are pirates, right? Yeah, we're pirates. And the living ship, whose name is Sal. The living ship Sal. And we said, hi, we're not from this world. We would like to help this world. Did y'all see a really random guy come through here and fuck some shit up? And they said, after, suspecting us and like thinking one of us had died and all of that
You squirting
stuff.
blood.
They were like the
Oh
Annihilator.
yeah. Was like, oh yeah, the Annihilator. We saw him.
Mhm.
We can go to the
Did somebody come
place
through here? Boy, did he.
where he fucked everything up at the hole in the ocean. That was what it was called, correct? The hole in the world.
Hole in the ocean.
Hole in the
Hole in
ocean.
the ocean.
Okay. And we said, sure, let's go there. And we start making our merry way towards there when, whoa, there's a big sea beast, specifically a kraken. It's big and evil and scary, and it wants to eat our ship. So we fought it real good. We cut off a bunch of limbs. We barbecued it. We blasted it. We shot it with big cannons. And it started to run away, but then it got decimated. And we all had kraken soup for dinner. It was delicious. And then we found the hole in the ocean. And I believe, I don't know why I just went Frank. Like, Chainsaw is the way I always refer to your character, but my brain went Frank.
It's just because you're getting more intimate.
Yes,
and, like,
exactly.
getting to know
We're
each other
better friends.
Mhm.
Frank and Hector went ahead to check it out and saw some pretty wild things. This is the one part I can't remember, but something was wrong. What was wrong?
There was
thought
a
it was
hole in the ocean.
Blown up.
Well, yeah, there was a hole in the ocean. Oh, because the town in there had been decimated by E. Brian before,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
And it looked real messed up. And y'all said, looks real messed up. And we said, we're coming. And
Yeah.
that's where it ended.
Just when everybody thought they were gonna get a little 2x, like going down and checking things out, we were like, I was like, no, let's go back and get the whole picture.
Let's not split the
Yeah.
party.
So, since we have not split the party, we'll pick up right where we just had that amazing, fantastic, let's get rid of terrible unwanted tattoos from Sal. And
Yes! Oh, I loved that moment.
That was great.
And that was gay. That was a gay moment, too.
it was real
Yes.
gay.
Good. Okay. Yeah.
It was the most gay we could possibly make it without,
Good and gay.
without Happy Jacks After Darking it.
Exactly.
So, and Kit and Sapna are both kind of still riding that high of
Mhm.
like having achieved this thing together and like healing Sal, both as a ship and as a person. And then right when like we're like, okay, let's gather our senses and go explore the hole in the ocean. We kind of get this like zzz, 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 and weirdly, much like Al does in Quantum Leap, we get the appearance of, okay, is this, I suppose this shall just pretend I'm not here. Oh wait, I'm not actually, that's not, pretend I am here. And Interstitial appears on the deck of the ship.
Oh!
Oh, good. You have not down with the sickness. Good. Great. That is
Is there sickness?
Liam. Not yet. Maybe. Perhaps. The stress levels, harmonics, are multiplying exponentially. Basically, I mean, if you don't kiss, the future won't happen. Wait, no. The opposite. The opposite. And if the two of you, and they point to Sapna and Lucky, if the two of you kiss, there will be no future for either of you.
Oh,
Um,
that seems bad.
Is it?
and basically, through the next, like, say, 5 or 10 minutes of this kind of explanation, you gather that Lucky is actually a doppelganger of Sapna, a doppelganger, if you will.
Yes.
And if they do not, if Sapna is not extracted from the situation, the longer that they stay there, the more the pressure will build up. So Sapna is going to be evacuated, but Dr. Light said that they should not be left unattended. No. Maybe? Is that?
So
Unaided. Unsupervised?
Sapna or us?
You, the three of you should have assistance.
Oh.
And who better than to assist than a doctor?
Is Dr. Light coming?
No. No. No, not Dr. Light.
Dr. Montoya?
Dr. Light, is busy.
Okay.
She said she was very busy. She didn't seem that busy. Maybe another version of her was very busy.
Okay.
But there is another doctor. So, incoming doctor. And interstitial blinks out. And exactly where interstitial was is Heather.
Oh.
Okay, so just let me know when you're gonna send me, or oh,
Oh, well, that ain't George Clooney.
Wow. Your head and what does
Can I
Heather
get a
look
timeout?
like?
Do we know outside of this if Heather is the Azalea Avenger? Because I don't think that was ever precedented for Hector.
For Hector, you might.
No, he doesn't.
Hector knows.
Wait, we had
because
the-
of the. Well, yes.
Because he wasn't really at the lodge when Caduceus was.
no, but Heather has been included in a lot of the like green streak level conversations.
Okay.
So
I think
where
post the Rosalinda Azalea Avenger together conversation, like in the subsequent weeks when Heather was at the lodge more,
Okay.
Yeah,
it was
probably
revealed
came.
to all of us.
Okay.
Unless
Because I think it'd be super
Unless you'd
funny if
like it
Hector
to
was
be,
like.
I do see the bit, and I think that is very funny. So I'm here for it if we want to.
if Hector is finding out right now that
Right.
Heather is the Azalea Avenger.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm down for that.
Also, because does Heather look like herself? What's Heather's fantasy version in this world?
I think we have to do a stability check, right? Before.
Oh yeah.
She gets
I
out of
definitely had dice
Stability.
ready to go. And I'm rolling the dice now that I had ready to go previously.
Yes.
Good.
Absolutely, totally prepared for this.
And not scrambling to get my dice app open. Let's see. I think my stability is well, I have my character sheet right here.
What's Heather's stability?
These players, man, bogging the game down.
It's gonna be amazing.
Tell me about it.
What I don't remember is what the difficulty level of the stability check is. I think it's just a base. Like,
Well, normally it's fours and
4.
up unless there's, extenuating circumstances. 8 stability. Okay.
Wow.
Paragon of stableness.
That doesn't bode well for me.
I mean, she's a pediatrician,
It
right?
doesn't bode well for my role in this relationship.
I mean, technically, Kit is a surgeon.
I am stable. I usually have 7 stability, so I'm pretty stable.
Oh, I have a pair of 6s.
Oh, okay, great. So, without much fanfare, Heather replaces where interstitial was on the ship and fully forms in without any issues whatsoever. So, but how does Heather's look translate into the world of gas tops, Jason?
All right, so I'm picturing was let's see. Trying to remember. So it's basically like Disney princess in armor. Is what I was picturing, but I'm trying to think if there was. I'm starting with like Cinderella because she could talk to all the animals and stuff.
Uh-huh. Are you saying that Heather is a princess paladin?
Yeah, but like druid paladin, right? Because it's like ironwood, like not bark skin. She's actually like wearing armor, but it's made out of like ironwood bark, and so has this like metallic, like wood. What do you call it? The like dried out trees. What's that called? The
driftwood.
No. The trees that are like hardened into almost like stone or whatever.
Petrified.
Petrified. Yeah. It's like you took petrified bark, form it into armor, and it's like, almost half plate armor. And probably some sort of gnarled wizard staff sort of thing. Yeah, I think that is the main part of it. Also, like, I forget what color her hair is.
Usually blonde.
Yeah, okay. And it is some like incredible like fantasy twist, half up, just like you would never have time to do that, but probably the birds did it or whatever.
Definitely.
Not that she doesn't really have control over animals, but the plants help. So Disney fantasy poison ivy.
Hot.
Yeah. Amazing. Fucking fantastic. Okay, so but still recognizable as Heather is because Kit looks like, I mean, the face is still there, but very different. Yeah. So I guess. Oh, it's me, isn't it? Hi.
Oh, should we do everyone's like fantasy descriptions in case people weren't here last week?
Oh, I think that would be great. Let's, and since you were talking about it, let's start with how Kit looks in this.
Yeah, Kit is this like tall, pale elf with this white hair that kind of cascades back in a few braids, and then just has on like these very flowy pants that have a lot of leather straps and things to hold various like surgical utensils that fit more into this world than the world of where they came from. Their top half is almost completely bare, just with, effectively placed straps. And by effectively, I mean like there's some here and some here. Like, it's not really, but yes, they are looking like that.
And Hector finally gets out of Bill and looks like Captain Jack Sparrow.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's 2 Captain Jack
Now
Sparrows.
there's 2 sparrows.
Yeah.
Does Hector also look like the animatronic version of Captain Jack Sparrow?
I would say for like the first like second as he's like getting out, it's like kind of like melding him into what he actually looks like. But he doesn't. Like he actually looks like Captain Jack Sparrow and he puts on the hat.
Yeah.
And Chainsaw's a dwarf. And I've got like black leathers on and pistols in and like bandoliers across my chest, and then I've got 2 big barrels of gunpowder on my back. I'm always smoking a cigar that never goes out. Big beard, long hair, and just ready to get into a scrap.
Oh, and I totally forgot. Also covered in tattoos of like medical terminology and like diagrams and bones.
That's right.
that stuff.
I need to know about this, like these tattoos. I was wondering last time.
Yeah.
And now that I'm in the,
Now you can ask.
now I can ask. So is this like a, say, 19th century Victorian textbook that got transposed onto your
Yes,
body, or is this
very
like a
much.
modern?
I think the illustrations, like, because there are like actual like tattoos of the bones and like the phalanges and stuff, those look very Victorian. But if you were to look closer, like all the terminology is perfectly modernly accurate. Like it's kind of like symbolic of the way Kit perceives their own body now on the outside, you know?
Oh, I love that so much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now that we have refreshed everyone's memory on what we looked like, Heather has appeared amongst you.
Wow. Doctor, that makes sense. Hi.
Welcome, Dr. Princess. And I bow.
Right. I think I take a second to take in how I look. Okay. I think I get what's happening here. But what's happening here?
Do you mean like the way that we look or what we're about to do?
I think I get the way we look. Interstitial explained something. Not exact. I mean, it was pretty close. Yeah. What do we need to do here?
Go into the hole in the island that's
In the ocean.
in the ocean
Right.
and
Okay.
rectify something.
We
Okay.
fix up portal.
Yeah, and the hole's always been there, but the town's not good.
Okay. You know, I'll just I'll follow along and pick up at the changes.
All right.
Good to see you. Glad you're here.
Yeah, I am glad I'm here too. It's just weird.
Hector, in case you didn't know, Heather
Is here.
is here.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm gonna leave that. I'm just gonna leave that up to Heather if you would like to. Anyway, let's go.
I don't think Heather knows that Rosalinda
No,
or
probably
that
not. Well,
La Novia Negra is Rosalinda,
Ooh.
who is
Yeah.
Hector's daughter.
Yeah.
God, it's so good. What a web.
Yeah. But
I
I
need to
think,
make
a bunch of
Spider
a-
chart right now.
a bunch of Heather's armor has, like Azalea Avenger stuff on it. Not that she's hiding, like she doesn't have like a face mask or anything,
Right.
but it just has some of the color choices. What color are azaleas? I'm gonna look them up.
I think they can have multiple colors, right?
Oh
Like
yeah, there's a lot of
purple
like
and
pink and purple though.
Pink, yeah.
You could have azaleas like kind of the petrified bark has an azalea pattern across it.
Yeah,
like.
that's what we
Mhm.
got,
Go.
like inlaid or whatever. Cool.
Yeah.
And then so we'll have some of that. So like pretty clearly she's the like medieval Azalea Avenger. Okay. And then we have
I need to know what just happened. What just got broadcast over the mental link.
Oh yeah. For listeners,
because that look was so good.
Kit just looked at Hector and Hector looked back at Kit and Kit went, and Hector went,
Yeah. It's a good summation.
I don't know
Yeah,
if any
that's-
words were exchanged. Good. Let's go, team.
and it is worth noting, somebody in chat reminded me that we had fan cast Heather as the guy who plays Arizona on Grey's Anatomy, which
Yes.
I will look up for a name. But that's still a great fan cast. Jessica Capshot.
Very good. Very approved.
I appreciate that fan cast standing.
Yes.
So, do y'all want to head into?
Let's go.
Yeah. Lucky, I'm guessing you know the best way in. But
Well, I have this, and they point to, like a piercing in their ear that resembles like a tiny little fish in weirdly accurate detail. It's like, so I could just swim down. And Sal, of course, doesn't need to breathe.
right. But swimming is an option.
Yeah, I mean, swimming, it's kind of like you just let yourself sink to the bottom.
Okay.
You could just, I mean,
We have some
I saw y'all
flyers, so
flying
yeah.
around, so you could just
Yeah, you can
fly
just-
in the hole, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Or drop.
yeah, maybe we could carry
Who are we carrying?
them. Those two are totally sitting right there.
I mean, I could always, if I needed to, but yeah, let's fly in. That's fine.
Mm.
I can't fly, just for the record.
Oh yeah, neither. I can't really stop considering. No, still can't.
Can I?
Not with that attitude.
Neither can I yet.
Mhm. All right. So we're off.
All right.
Oh.
Um,
Okay, I'll meet you down there, because I'm just gonna, yeah. And Lucky just jumps off the side of the ship.
Hell yeah.
Like, starts sinking into the water on the side of the ship. Kind of abutting this large hole.
The hell. Yeah. And we sink on down. using
Chainsaw
flying
flings out his
powers.
iridescent cape, takes off, grabs Heather by the armpits. Says, let's go! And flies off.
Okay.
Hector gets back into Bill. So when was that? No,
What?
you guys have been together for a long time, huh?
Yeah, pretty long. Hole in the ocean.
Including the year that you were missing.
Also including yeah, like 2 years, 2.5, including being missing, which feels yeah.
All right. Well, I think the handles come out of Bill's back.
Like the posts on the back of a BMX bike.
Yeah.
No, but it looks like a banister, kind of like woody,
Mm-hmm.
like not exactly as technical.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A little
Yeah.
more apropos for the universe in which
Yeah.
we are.
Mm-hmm.
I like those pegs that stick out from the mast
Mm-hmm.
so that people can climb up and do
Right.
pirate things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Fantastic.
swashbuckle.
So,
Swashes.
obviously, y'all have flown before, y'all have carried your teammates before, and there's nothing like dangerous and pressing about the situation. So, as you fly in, you see this hole is kind of like about 100 yards across. You're looking at about a football field
Mhm.
worth of hole. And rather than like it being a very static thing, the sides, like, it's not a tide so much as there's like gentle movement. Like, the ocean has accepted this hole. The hole exists in conjunction with the ocean, and no one thinks about it too hard.
Mhm. The
Um,
ocean has accepted this hole. I love that.
And so as you fly in, you see the remains at the ocean floor, which is about like, not to put too fine a point on it, if you were a scuba diver and you went down to the floor of the ocean in this area, it would be an uncomfortable amount of pressure,
Mm.
but it would not be a lethal amount of pressure. So it's pretty deep, but not like unfathomably, like they
Uh,
never see the sky.
Unfathomably.
Exactly.
Oh.
The fathoms can be fathomed, is what I'm saying.
Got it.
Because as I learned from Jason, the jokes are always better when you explain them.
Yes, good.
Mhm.
Yep.
You're doing so well.
Mhm.
So we come down, like, if you follow the camera down like it, like you are in the soaring over California ride at Disneyland. Good. And the camera goes woo right over our flying trio and zooms down into this hole. You see what at some point was a remarkably beautiful and well constructed village of Finfolk. There are structures that are a combination of wood that looks like it was scavenged from different ships or brought in that kind of fill the structure like in the center where the hole is, but they seamlessly join through the adjoining walls and become these like stone and coral buildings. It's a reasonably sized village, not like, there's not just 20 people down here. Well, maybe there are now. But so many of these structures, like there is an obvious relief effort, like an obvious restructuring effort going on, but what were these large and well decorated structures have mostly been replaced by things that are temporary. You see a lot of like what are those things that are called that are like when you have a building and you prop something into the building to make sure it doesn't fall down? Support beams.
Oh yeah,
Temporary support beams. There's a technical term for it that I'm never going to be able to
can't
figure out.
remember it.
I,
either.
I think support beam is right. Like, I don't know what else you would call it.
And
My
so
brain keeps saying shim, and that's not right.
so we have those kind of like propping up what some buildings have been utterly decimated, and there are like piles of both debris, like the people have been clearing out, and rebuilding materials or what they could salvage to use when they do rebuild these buildings. And that is not just centered around the hole. As you fly in, you see that, like, in the water sections, there are hunks missing of the coral. There are portions of it where, like, the water is kind of still cloudy, just from things that keep, like, the water keeps pulling more of this debris out into the surrounding water. But in those areas, rather than, like, support beams and things like that, what you actually see is, like, small new coral growth coming both out of the sea and out of the coral itself. And so it's not quite the same material or the same process that's going on over there. It's an interesting situation. As you get closer, you can start to pick out the people. And the Finfolk, as they are called, are more of like an Abe Sapien than they are a, like, Ariel.
Yeah.
They're humanoid, they have webbed hands and feet. They don't have hair, but they do have, like, different fin patterns. They are all in, like, different patterning and colors of blue and green. Different shades, that's the word I was looking for. Different shades of blue and green. Some of them have pink around kind of those fins of their ears, coming in around like their gills along their neck. But for the most part, you don't see there's not a lot of people with those kinds of pinkish attributes. And whatever they were doing, before you started coming in from the sky. What you have now is a coordinated defensive posture. Spears and like the smaller fin folk that you could assume are children have been herded into the watery section to buildings that seem like they are more stable than others. Like it is very much like someone hit the alarm bell and now you are facing what is left of the village defense force.
It'll all be fine. I'll talk to him.
Okay. Go ahead.
Can there be like an audible alarm that is like high pitch, like dolphin chittering,
Whale
like barely audible to us, but
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like a you hear like a
right.
All right. I at a decent distance want to come down and gently put Heather on the ground and say, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!
Yeah,
We're not coming to attack."
I don't think they want us here.
This happens a lot.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
Does it?
Really?
Here.
Oh yeah. We're friendly. They
Oh.
speak our same language.
and you and one of the like there's a little bit of uncertainty like what the flying fuck feelings like faces expressions on a bunch of these people's faces, and one slightly, if you had to guess, she would be on the younger side but still an adult of the Finn folk. She has kind of a rather intricate coral collar, a torque, if you will. And she steps forward and she's like, okay, explain yourself.
Well, we have come to... Why are we... To help. The, Devastator? Annihilator, who came through here, is a person that we have subdued. We've come to try to help with some of the destruction that he left behind. Fix some of the destruction he left behind.
And she looks at you, looks at the rest of you, and is like, seriously, that's the story you have come up with.
Yeah, we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants here.
So poorly constructed.
But
you
not
would
a
think
story.
that if I were up to something else, I would have come up with a good lie.
Yeah, that's actually fair. And kind of. But at this point, I am going to have you roll a persuasion check.
Mm-hmm. I literally was like, I can't have Kit do this because whenever I have Kit talk, then I remember I have nothing in persuasion. Somebody else has got to do it.
All right, I have 7 dice in a wild
Yeah. You have a face.
I do have a face.
That's 3 10s.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I am to say that, like, despite the fact that your
Oh, right.
your story does seem so unbelievable that it could not possibly be made up, because no one would fall for that if it was.
Mm-hmm.
And helping you at the same time as you get through this, and the person is like trying to decide like what is wrong with you? Why are you here? We have been through so much that Lucky actually like walks out. Lucky and Sal walk out from the wall of water.
Mm.
And you realize that Lucky is actually known to these people.
Mm.
If not, friends. they at least are like a couple of the finfolk at the end kind of like are like, oh, it's you. And the finfolk with the coral torque turns and is like, oh, I guess that explains it.
Oh, right. We're with them. We're with them.
So you subdued the Annihilator?
Yep.
Not here, somewhere else. But
Yeah, no shit, not here. But and you could sense that, like, even though she believes your story, even though she is, you know, not about to attack you anymore, at least, she's still really, really, like, unhappy and disbelieving that you will actually be able to help. And there is a sense of almost exhaustion that you get. Like, the people start to, like, as she calls off the defense force, that really isn't that many people.
yeah.
You're talking like a dozen finfolk. A couple of them are, like, still limping when they walk away. They're real tired. They're real fucking tired.
So what are we supposed to be doing here?
Are you're asking me?
We don't look like much, but there's a lot that we can do, and whatever help you need, we're here to do it.
Well, for instance, was anybody injured in the attack? That's something I can help with? I'm a doctor. I am a doctor. I work with kids a lot, so if there's any children are hurt or anything, I'd be happy to take a look, see what I can do.
We actually... We do have some people who are still... Yeah, they could use some aid in that way.
Okay.
And they kind of, like, she swallows down, like, this just seething anger in order to accept your help that you have offered in good faith. And she's like, oh, look, I know we've been through a lot. We need a lot of help. Okay, I could use a lot of fucking help. But, you know, I guess to start, I'm Nynaeve.
I'm
And I guess I'm the leader of this village now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, and
I'm Hector.
Chainsaw.
and Heather.
Heather, if you wanna, and she calls one of the kind of remaining adults around forward. If you want to follow Pasame there, she can show you where
Okay.
what we've been using kind of as the infirmary.
Yeah.
I'll come too. I can also help.
Yeah.
If
Great.
you need anything heavy lifted, I can. I'm good with that.
Okay.
Flex.
I mean, if
There's a lot of stuff knocked over.
like she looks around and she's like, take your pick. Try not to knock any of the other buildings down.
I didn't want to start without first being, okaying it with anyone.
Got to make sure it's up to code.
Respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Get the permits pulled.
Ooh, okay. Arabelle. Arabelle is our engineer. She actually knows what is happening over there. I couldn't. I don't know. Wood isn't really my thing. And like, and you can see as Arabelle comes up from, she's been doing that thing that like construction coordinators do when they're like if there was like instead of a clipboard, because like we are in a
Fantasy clipboard.
it's a fantasy clipboard that can survive underwater.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is actually kind of like a sealed sand tablet.
I love that.
And she has been checking little things off of it and making notes and like arranging people over to the side at one of the buildings. Like, has like a coral hard hat and comes over and is like,
Wait. Is it like a fantasy etch-a-sketch?
yes, that is
Yes.
literally
Okay.
what I'm describing.
Okay.
I'm glad that you get me. And she comes over and while like she has been upbeat and you can see like as she enters the proximity of Nynaeve, it like noticeably dims. And she's like, "Oh yeah, did you need something?" And Nynaeve like snaps back. It's like, just look, these people are here to help. Can you fucking like give them something to do? That one says he's strong.
It's strong or whatever.
I'm sensing tragedy. Oh no.
And as she like foists you chainsaw off on Arabelle, and like just takes her little like Eeyore cloud, her angry Eeyore cloud. I don't know what an angry Eeyore would be, but and like stomps off to the side, leaving you with an engineer. And Heather and Kit, you are following
Starts with a P, right?
Pasame.
Pasame?
Pasame over.
On the way over there, I wanted to have a little aside with Kit.
Hello.
Fantastic.
So did Nynaeve say she's the leader now? Like there was a thing to that, right?
I am guessing that she is the daughter of the previous leader. If I had to put my cards down. Yeah.
God, okay. This sucks. I hate this. Is this what you do all the time?
We don't really do happy things typically. Sometimes things turn out better than when we came there, but yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Sometimes, like, Novia and I, like, do stuff, but, like, then people want to take selfies with us afterwards. You know, it's, like, chill. And, I mean, it's not always chill, but it's usually fun. And, like, this sucks.
I mean, the more... it's a comic book, but the more power that you get, the more that you are responsible for fixing things that go really wrong, you know? So it sucks, but it's important.
Yeah, I get that. Okay. Wow, it's just
Yeah, sorry, I know
oof.
it's kind of throwing you in the deep end, which sounds a lot like Dr. Light. So
Yeah, they asked me if I was free to help out today.
Literally puts their hand to their head, like, and just takes a second, like, goes down on a knee, and is like,
yeah. She's
And
like
then I
that.
said yes, and Dr. Light said, "Oh, good, the universe won't implode," which I thought was a joke.
I mean, I feel like that was 50% of a joke.
Okay.
50%. Do you need to take a minute? It's fine. I mean,
I don't think so. I mean, probably later, but right
Okay.
now, let's see if these kids are okay or whoever's hurt.
that's we should do that immediately. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we can do triage and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll just go work mode.
Work mode. I mean, we see shit there every day. Just treat it like we're there, you know?
Okay.
Okay.
Hector's gonna disembark from Bill and have Bill help out Chainsaw, and Hector's just gonna like cruise the little town if he's allowed, and like just help people out and just try to get a sense of what's going on.
Okay. I mean, people are, as a whole, now that you have been determined not to be a threat, people are pretty welcoming. They want the help. They need the help. It's really nice to have the help. And while there is obviously a sense of like grief, there's not the it's like as no, it's people coming through a trauma, but they are not quite as angry at the world as Nynaeve is. But in order to get a sense of the town, I am gonna have you just do a basic telepathy roll and see what vibes you pick up. Do your own vibe check.
I know. Vibe check.
The tables have turned.
Tell me everything you know.
Tell me everything you feel.
That
How
is
do you feel
4 9s.
today? Oh shit!
Wow.
Yes.
I have 3 wild dice.
Oh, that'll do it. Yeah. You get the sense.
I also want to like if he's allowed to like help them process their trauma. Like
Sit people down, have conversations.
yeah, and just kind of
Hey, little buddy, how you feel?
Yeah, I mean, as long as they're opting into therapy.
right.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
That's what I'm
the
saying.
big
Like
one.
if he's allowed, right? Like
Yeah. Okay.
he's not.
I would say that there is a sense that, like, for the most part, as you go through these kind of pockets, you're doing small jobs, like, you know, whatever the underwater equivalent of helping old ladies across the street with their groceries is. You engage people in conversation, and you're like, oh, hey, like, how are things going, whatever, and you're reaching out with your telepathy at the same time, and you realize that these are people who have gone through shit. This isn't like the only time that their village has ever been like partially or kind of mostly destroyed. They live at the bottom of the ocean. There are large predators around. But that this time, it was such a sudden, unprovoked, and overwhelming attack that they almost don't know how to process it. That they're struggling with, as Heather and Kit noticed, the loss of their leader. And additionally, every time Nynaeve passes by, she is basically broadcasting a sense of just rage and impotent fury and like heavily suppressed grief.
If I'm angry, I don't have to feel sad. I know this trick. Yeah.
It's such a good trick.
It totally works, and nothing's wrong with the approach at all. It's very
What
fine.
could go wrong?
What I am going to say as well, with your 4 9s, is that you realize that while Nynaeve looks nothing like Rosalinda, that her mental signature reminds you strongly of her. It's like if you just closed your eyes and listened, you'd almost turn around expecting to see Rosalinda behind you.
Okay.
On a mental level. On
Mhm.
a physical level, not so much. She's a finfolk. She
Mhm.
has a much more like she walks around like the bottom of the ocean has personally done her wrong. And she needs to like stomp it back into place every time she moves. So yeah. And I would say like there is a sense that you feel like when you talk to these people that you are helping them. But the next time that wave of broadcast washes over, pretty much all the work that you just did with them is undone. Whoa.
Hmm. All right.
Mm. Dark cloud.
And let's go over to Chainsaw. Since Arabelle, who is
Arabelle.
naturally very competent, very perky finfolk. It's a very brightly colored coral hard hat that she has on.
I like your hat.
Thank you. I made it myself.
Oh,
I just, like I once saw
Did it have
this
pockets?
sailor with a hat, and they said that it protected their head from falling debris, and it just looked so stylish. But I thought I could make that better if it was pink. So I signed one up.
100% working.
Thank you. And Arabelle walks you through, like, you're in what amounts to kind of a town square. There's a lot of, like, meeting places and things that the town, since it encompasses both the whole, like, open air and the sea itself, this is where they do a lot of their trading with the outside world.
Mm-hmm.
Ships will come up, much like y'all did, park at the edge of the hole, feather fall down, swim down, belay a really long rope down, whatever it takes.
Cranes.
And do market and trading and things like that. So that's the most kinds of structures here that have been destroyed. And they would love to get those back up and running.
All right. Okay. I think I could do this. And I pull out, like, reach behind me, and I pull out this wand.
Yes. Yes.
That has a hand at the end of it. And I point it at some of the debris that has fallen away, and I start manipulating it and bringing it back up to where it should be. Come on, get up there, boy, get up there, come on. And like trying to put things back together, and then I'm like, all right, Bill, can you lash those together?
Bill.
And just working between the two of us, like, and using my my aura having fun telekinesis stuff, like just start
Aura
kind of-
having fun. Tell me about what's your pool on telekinesis?
7 dice, 1 hard die and a wiggle die.
Okay, let's give me a telekinesis roll, just a base telekinesis to see how well and how quickly you're able to put some of these structures back together, and how well you take, direction from Arabelle for these structures that, like, because I'm guessing Chainsaw doesn't really have a background in that kind of stuff, so you would need to be able to take that direction from her.
Absolutely.
Is there like a help thing Bill can do?
It's all good. I got 4 10s.
Oh. Bill is super helping.
Yes.
Bill also takes direction really well. Okay, so you are doing a fantastic job. You come out like, and even Arabelle underneath the bubbly like persona, she's a little skeptical. She's like, you are obviously not a sea-dwelling person. Do you really know how to? But like as you do these, like you move a bunch of debris away. There's a moment where like one of the structures looks like it's like about to slip off its support beam. There's like just one of those little like ocean shakes. That's not really an earthquake, but just like
Tectonic plates being
like,
like,
hey,
It's
yeah, it's like,
tectonicking. Yeah.
hey, I'm here. And one of the structures looks like it's about to collapse, and you're like, whoosh, I'd come right in and save the day, looking like the amazing hero that you are. And so y'all do it, like, y'all, over the next few hours, do a really, really good job of getting that stuff put back together. And
there's a song flitting through my head that I'm just kind of humming.
going with the music.
and at the same time, like Arabelle is like, so this wand that could be super useful. Do you know if it works in the water? Is it for sale?
Only works in my hand, unfortunately.
Oh, it's I
Yeah.
see. It's tied to your essence.
Otherwise, I would happily part with it for you.
And like her like the fins around her ears go a little like opalescent. And then
The universal sign for flirting, of course.
yes, obviously. When things get shinies.
That's right.
And we'll move on. We'll kind of detour back over to the infirmary, where
What's going on in there?
Heather and Kit, when you walk in, you find that it is a very like you're entering the side of this building that has been shored up, and most of the repairs on this building have been done. They have prioritized this ahead of everything else, but it's a long kind of almost like a long cabin that goes from wood and then has coral adjoining it and becomes a primarily coral structure on the other side. But it's about half and half in the water and in the air. And you walk into the side of it, and it's a rather like large, long, open room filled with different types of beds and different recovery areas. And there's just so many people in here in varying states. One side of it. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
One section of it has actually been portioned off, and you see and you can sense this with your, always on power, that one section in the water has been sectioned off as kind of a morgue.
Yeah.
And what at first glance looks like, oh, there's so many people here I need to treat, is actually like half of the kind of bodies that you can see in here are actually the people who have died and not been yet put to rest in the and this is where they're keeping them while they work on other things.
Yeah.
Because the water here is cold, therefore.
Yeah.
What a happy scene.
Do they have any, let's say, plant-based remedies that they've been working with? Asking for a friend?
I am going to say absolutely, that they have.
Okay.
What is your kind of plant? Do you have like a plant sensing? What is your, talk to me about this power.
Yeah, well, so it's basically just plant magic, right? So like the limitation on it is that she can't make plants out of nothing, right? Or like grow them out of her body or whatever. Like she has to have something to start with. And I think she's probably always got like a little, sprig of something in a pocket. But if she has something to start with, she could usually like make it grow too big, or see if it's sick or whatever. Like there's a lot of stuff. But I should say she's only got one wiggle die in her power because she's not a pinnacle like some people. But she is out here doing her best, and I think that counts for a lot.
It counts for so much.
But what I was wondering is if they have a bunch of like stuff that they've collected, because like, okay, we got to grind this down and make the paste that we use for our people or whatever. Maybe I could help make more of that, or make it like stronger. Like if they're using, I'm sure they don't have aspirin bark, but like that type of thing, like, oh, let's make it more potent, or whatever it is that it needs to be.
What I'm going to have you do is, so in the section that is where people are actually being treated still, there is a kind of like sideboard where what we would just call like nurses and orderlies and like people and doctors like making medicines and doing different things and like, going about the business that you both recognize so well of like, okay, let's get to work and we're doing the thing and and that they have been at this a long time. There are times where you see someone like go for a certain jar and they are scraping the inside of it.
Okay.
And that kind of thing. So I'm going to say that based on, the fact that y'all are both medical professionals, that you can kind of tell like the person who would be the pharmacist.
Sure.
And they are very happy to have your help. They introduce themselves as Econo.
Econo. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Dr. Econo, if you have any materials that aren't derived from animals but are plant-based, I can help restock you. If you'd like my help.
And they would be. Oh, it's not an illusion. It's not like when they say like, oh, use this spell and you'll replicate your pearls into more pearls. And it turns out it's just a.
I don't know. I don't really do spells, I don't think.
No.
Okay.
Yes, this would be. I don't want to speak for you.
Look, you know what's going on here, and I might explain it wrong. So,
from my partner's work and power here is that she can grow and expand plant life. So,
oh, she's a plant singer.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Okay, fantastic. Yes, we. Oh, thank. You just gotta go with it.
Wait a minute. I think
Whispering
Heather
to
loves
Heather.
karaoke, right?
Yes.
Wasn't
yes,
that a
she
thing?
does. Canonically loves karaoke.
It was like trying to get Kit to go to karaoke.
Yeah, and then Kit was like, I have to go to a meeting.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes. Yes. I'm a plant singer. That's. Uh-huh.
Oh. Well, why didn't you just say that to begin with? Okay, fantastic. And they like lay out. It's like half of, like if this was like a normal bar, it would be like half the bar is in need of a refill.
Sure. Okay.
And what I'm gonna say is that I'm going to have you roll your power.
Okay.
And based on the results of that, it would both be like how well you're able to tune into these plants, being as they are plants not from your universe. And
yeah, okay.
Some of them are more similar to plants that you recognize than others. Like there are some things that you would identify like, oh, well in my world that's, kelp. And I guess it has special medicinal properties here, but at least there, like it is but some of them are much more out of like left field.
Okay. So I have either 3 9s or 4 7s. Apparently my dice equate to like digital version as well. So,
okay.
But here's the thing. So the 9s are probably better, but I'm trying to show off a little bit for someone. It's Kit. I'm trying to show off for Kit. And doing it quickly, and it's not that much worse, right? 7s are almost 9s. I would like to use the 4 7s, please.
Love her.
I love this. So, yes, absolutely. What does it look like when Heather uses her power on these plant-based medicinal situations?
Yeah, I think in like normally she just kind of like in our world that there isn't a lot of visual, she doesn't like put her fingers to her temple or or whatever. She might like gesture towards the thing and it like comes up out of the planting pot or whatever. But here, she's looking over all the things and kind of like getting a sense, and there's actually like a little like green glow coming from her outstretched fingers. And then and like kind of surprising herself that it's happening, she's starting to do this like like
The Little
You
Mermaid.
said I'm a plant singer. I'm a plant singer.
right. But it's like, I don't know, like a cappella melody to a Bon Jovi song or something, like it's not like Disney princess music. It's the what no, is it Bon? No, the take my hand, we're halfway there.
Oh yeah, that's living on a prayer. Yeah.
Yeah. That is what she's like humming, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And Chainsaw's doing Spoonful of Sugar.
Nice.
That's amazing. It looks like you have this covered. Are you going to be okay over here if I?
Yeah. We can divide and conquer. Oh no. Oh, sorry. Dang it. But yeah. We can split effort. I think they need a lot more of this stuff. So I'm gonna. I don't know how much it renders down or anything. So
Yeah.
I'll keep growing. And but I think like several of the little dishes that are supposed to have something are like like just sprouting, whatever.
Yeah, I would say with your 4 7s, like very quickly, like what you were able to do is have them come up and you've got like the full plant growing out of a bunch of these. There are a couple where you're like, I'm sure that was the right one. It's great. What matters is that it's fast.
Sure. Yeah.
And as Kit walks away, Econo is like, okay, well, this, and this are great. I didn't realize that sample had become contaminated, so that's good to know.
Oh, I see. Is that
I'm
like
just gonna
that's a rot.
quarantine this one.
I understand. Sorry, where we come from, some fungal growths are helpful, so I wasn't sure.
No, it's good. It's better to know now.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Great.
My name is Eka now, not Eka later.
Take a thread.
So they're working with you pretty well. There's a little bit of like that crossed wires where it's like, whoa, I recognize this plant and it is definitely going to be great, but it turns out like it's not the plant that you need, so you just have to like section that part of like your understanding aside.
Yeah.
And dive a little deeper to find the plants that are more unfamiliar to you.
Right. Okay.
But you have, it seems, really impressed Kit. Therefore,
I'm so impressed.
winning.
Awesome.
And where would you like to get with
Yeah,
that?
I think Kit is going to just tune in to their always on power to try to scan over all these people and figure out who is kind of in the most dire straits that they could either help with their surgical capability or with their extra surgical capability.
What you notice is that for the most part, the people in here are in one of two ways. Like they are coming in for their routine checkups. There's a lot of like coral casts
Mm-hmm.
that have been put around arms, legs. Somebody has one around their torso.
Ouch.
But so there's like an in and out of people who are mobile or mostly mobile, and then there is a much smaller section of people who are, to put it, you know, I guess the most discreetly, like where they are making them very comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so like probably outside of my actual doctor abilities, but I might be able to, you know, spend some points and help some people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go over and try to find an attending doctor there, so I don't just start going over and touching people and I be healed.
It's like, here, let me touch you. Who are you again? Take 2 of these and never do dialysis again.
Hole in the ocean, Jesus.
Oh my god. It's like,
Amazing.
regrow your kidney in 2 pills. We were just here for the whales.
Just here for the whales.
So you find a doctor kind of going around, rather than your traditional physician with their stethoscope in their pocket. This person is actually like has a coral section attached to their side of their head, like almost like a coral growth coming up and around their ear that's shaped like a conch shell.
Hell yeah.
Mm.
And when they need to find out, like, they're like, okay, breathe in for me. And he leans in and he puts his whole head up against their chest. And it's not just the stethoscope capability. You actually see him do it to someone's arm and someone's leg.
That's so
as
cool.
well. He like taps on the end of someone's foot, puts his head down and is like, okay, I think that'll be able to come off in another 2 weeks.
Wow. That's really impressive.
Wow. I mean, it's just. Who are you?
Sorry, hi. I'm Kit. I was sent here to help out. I have some healing capabilities. So
Oh, fantastic! A doctor, or you know,
yes,
a
also
medicine
a doctor.
person. What is
I'm
the fantasy word for doctor?
Healer?
Healer?
A healer.
Yeah.
I mean, plague doctors were a thing.
I put my mask on. I'm super scary now. No.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, if you want to, like, we got a little backed up today. There was a collapse yesterday, so we had to put on a couple of extra. We had to sing up a couple more supports. And so we're running a little behind on our check-in. So if you just want to, I'm assuming you know basic physiology, have you you're a air breather.
No,
Oh, that was rude. I'm sorry.
no, it's fine. I probably okay. I can probably again, yes, different physiology, but I am familiar with a couple of different types of physiology, and I can. This is gonna sound weird. I can see inside you, so I can do that.
Are you... Please tell me you're not talking about that you're mentally undressing me right now. I feel like that's not really the time or the place.
Biology wise, being able to see what's wrong and fix it.
Oh, like a cleric.
Yes, I am a kids definitely played D&D and other TTRPGs. Exactly like a cleric.
Okay. Well then, I've got some people that I have not. Maybe together we could help.
Yeah, I'm very down.
From across the clinic, I think can Heather hear cleric and then go like, wait, babe, am I a druid?
We have played together.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think Heather's played like 3 times, and you've been trying to like get her to play more,
Yeah.
and all the time that you have for gaming.
Yep. Yep.
I was thinking about this week. Chainsaw definitely played in the 80s, but the Satanic Panic put an end to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Kit was a huge like real heroes and fake heroes comic book nerd, so there's no way that they also weren't like a gaming nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, take me to where you need me.
Okay. I mean, this is a long shot. I guess I'm out of other options.
That's usually where I come in. So,
Okay. And he leads you over to the section with the people that are much worse off. And there are some of these people are past helping in general. We have made them as comfortable as possible. But I can't help but feel like that I don't know that we'll recover if I can't save these two. And you realize that it's two like teenagers in beds next to each other. And even like not knowing a lot about the Finfolk, they have the same coloring, they have the same like patterning of blue and green. What you can see of their clothing, they've got like little, like the sheets kind of half pulled up, but they're actually wearing reverse matching.
are they like twins vibes kind of thing?
Very much twins vibes.
Yeah. Okay.
We haven't had a pair of twins we haven't had a double birth in 2 generations.
Wow.
And I mean, it's not that we struggle to keep our people, but that it's just something very special when it happens.
Sure. Yeah. Let me take a look. You said together or?
Well, my instruments can hear inside what's happening. I figured I would give you their history. I don't know how much you could actually do,
I can try.
but, and this is no offense to you, but I don't want to leave you alone with 2 of my most vulnerable patients, and I just met you 3 seconds ago.
None taken at all. I mean, if someone had walked into my clinic saying the same thing, you have shown me a lot more grace than I would probably show them. So, yeah.
Desperation is a powerful motivator.
And I would like to try to get a read on what's going on with these 2 and help them out.
Great. So I know that your kind of MRI power is always on, but I'm
Mhm.
going to actually have you roll your...
I do still usually roll for it to figure out what's going on. Yeah.
And before you do, I am going to say that the difficulty for you to figure out what is going on with them, just because the differences in physiology between the Finfolk and warm-blooded people, I am going to set this difficulty at 7s.
7s. Okay, cool.
You got this.
I do got this.
All right.
I've got 3 9s.
Oh, fantastic. Well then.
We have the 2 wiggle dice in this one now, so
Oh,
as long
yeah,
as I get
forgot
one,
about
I
that
got
second
3.
wiggle die.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fantastic. So what you do is like when you pass your power over these two kids, because they're still kids. They would hate to be called kids.
Yeah. Let's keep it at teenagers for my
sorry. These two teenagers, these two young adults.
There we go.
And you realize that, like, while they at some point took a, like, heavy a trauma blow that overwhelmed their internal systems.
Yeah.
And also, and some of that has been repaired. The medicine that they were given, the treatment that they have been given so far, has repaired some of the organ damage, and their bones have been set and things like that. But they took secondary trauma to their head, and they are currently both experiencing brain swelling. And that is actually what is keeping them from waking up.
Okay. Oh, you're nasty to me / positive because this is head heals. Amazing. I think Kit does take a look at all of this, and then they do like pale slightly, but they nod and say, yeah, I think I see the problem. I'm gonna focus really quickly. Okay.
Suddenly, Kit turns into a New York plumber. That is
See
your
what the
problem there.
There's your problem.
That ain't supposed to be in there.
Brain too big.
Like when you try to shove a big brain into a smaller pipe.
So this
You'll
will
have to come
be my heal heads, which has no wiggle dice. It's just 8 dice straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll...
And I am going to say that this one is still, while the physiology is still different from humans, in the brain portion, it is slightly closer.
Yeah.
So I am going to say that this one is probably a 6s.
Okay.
I mean, I say probably. I'm the one who's making these determinations. 6s.
I will spend willpower on this. I will do it. Okay. So for the first one, also 3 9s. For the first twin.
Amazing.
Fantastic. So Kit closes their eyes. There's no really like touch version that they need to do for this spell, but I think they just place like a hand on the forehead and close their eyes and focus. And let's see. Let's flavor the magic for this world.
Yes.
That all of the tattooed words on their body that have to do with like the head, the brain, they kind of flash and light and glow, and that glow travels down the body and into their hand and then lights around the person's forehead.
And the first twin kind of, like, you see that when somebody hasn't, like, they've been asleep for a really long time and they're like, eye crust, can't, like, and then their eyes flick open and they're like, in a like a surprisingly like deep voice, it's like, I have the worst hangover in my life.
Yeah, hi.
And next to you, Dr. Kremos is like, holy shit. And he is just over the moon, and he puts his shell and ear like up to the kid or up to the young adult and is like, huh? It's good. You're gonna be okay.
Okay.
Also, what do you mean hangover?
I'm gonna leave that conversation to listen. I don't care what you took. I just care about knowing what it is. Amazing. And I'm gonna move over to the second one and try to also help them out. Scary to have a really good result on the first one and then be like, now we have to replicate it.
Hey. Shit. Okay. 2 7s. Whew. We got some 10s and some 9s, but no matches until the 7s. But we got the 7s. Well, 7s will do. So it takes you. I'm gonna flavor this as just saying like it took some effort to heal the first one. So as you go to the second twin, you know what you're doing, so it seems like it should be easier. Do the same thing. But they're not twins in our universe are basically DNA replicas of each other, or even when they're fraternal twins, very, very close. Whereas in here in amongst the Finn folk, they are mirror images of each other.
Yeah.
So it takes just a second of you recalibrating to, oh, okay, I just need to. And
I imagine that, like, because they are mirror images of each other, that, you know, since my power isn't, like, based on touch, there's a little bit of that, like, accidentally maybe switching over to and being like, no, focus, it's this one, you know?
Yeah. It's like you're trying to, like, go back, and it's like, no, I already fixed that. Yeah. Back to this one. So it does take you a little bit longer. It is a little bit more of a push, but then you get that same, like, squinty, where, and a surprisingly, like, soprano voice.
Oh, I love that.
It's like, oh,
Hi. Take it easy.
huh, okay, what do you mean,
You're okay.
easy? How?
You and your sibling had an accident, but you're both okay. And you're gonna be all right.
Okay, great. Okay, yeah. I guess that whole, like, if the seafloor starts to shake rapidly, dive under your bed thing isn't really actually the best. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, but the doctor's right here, who I think you know, and he's gonna take care of you.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Of course.
And she immediately, like, you know, grabs onto the hand of her twin. And Dr. Kermos does the same thing. Like, ear to very happy. And they are, it is like a noticeable change in this infirmary. That people can see that these twins who are still a little bit shaky on their feet, like, all the internal injuries haven't quite been healed up.
Yeah.
But they woke up, they're still themselves, they're still very, very, you know, spoiled little brats, because, like, when you're the only twins that have been born in 2 generations, and you get all the grandparents, you get all the aunties spoiled, you come up a little, little bratty.
Love that.
So we'll kind of pan over off of that wonderful little moment, and we'll go circle back around to Hector.
He is going. Is it Anif?
Nynaeve?
Anif. Okay. He's gonna approach Anif.
She's pretty easy to find. Like, they're, besides the fact that you, like, can just mentally follow the kind of, like, trail of snark.
Sick.
Yeah, what? Do you need more? You cannot possibly be done already.
I mean, I've kind of got this sense that obviously there's a large mourning that's happening with your village. And I usually can help people process things. Have you what is your Finn folks? He's trying to figure out how to say this. Where I come from, if I help somebody, usually they're okay. Now, granted, there may be other things that happen that don't, could reverse or whatever, but it's not immediate. And in speaking with some of your townspeople, I could feel the relief, but then it immediately came back.
So, I don't know how much you know about the Land of the Dead. I don't know if you've been there. Like, do you know?
It's all new to me.
Drylanders will say what they want to say, but like Finfolk go to the Land of the Dead too. We all have our little places we go. We pass through the consulate. We go. I tried to call my dad after what had happened. And he wasn't there. I mean, it shouldn't surprise me. It's not like he was ever there when he was here. But, like, the people need him, so I thought maybe he would actually answer this time. But I guess he didn't arrive. At all.
And I'm assuming that's not normal.
No, everyone goes. You have to pass through the consulate.
Do you have anything in your histories that would say why he wouldn't?
My dad was he cared about this town. He gave everything he had for this town. For these people. And he can't just be gone. There's just no way. I don't know. I'm not an ambassador. I just made the call and he wasn't there. And then they wanted me to fill out a bunch of paperwork, and I was like, busy.
Was the interaction with your dad that took his life with the Annihilator?
That guy came, and it was like he knew exactly where Dad was. I don't know how. But you know what? I know he left mad, so at least he didn't get whatever the fuck it was he came here for.
That's very reassuring to some extent. So, this is going to be a weird explanation, but there are many of us through different existences. And when the Annihilator came, he may have been looking for somebody that was him. Or he was, because that's what he did. He's kind of an asshole, right? So essentially what happens is that when you take your other version's life, you assume their soul into you. So...
Oh, there's no way Dad would let that happen.
So then, what could he have done to stop it?
He used to tell me a story. I mean, you know, you're a kid. You want to go to bed. He used to tell me the story. That way, way back in the day, when the first fish people had just started to come and interact with people who were, like, when the first fin folk had come and were just starting to interact with the people on the land. There were so many stories. I mean, you know, like, people who dwell 100% on the land can be scary. And rude. And he would say that there was one very, very smart little finfolk, and her name was Panacea. And Panacea was so curious. And Anais always starts to take on this cadence of like a story you tell a child. It's that same, like, I've heard this so many times told in the exact same way that I cannot help but tell it to you this way. That so curious, but she was also very smart and very cautious. So she wanted to go up and she wanted to meet these people that she saw walking around, just walking on the beach, never coming to say hi, never coming below the water. But she also saw that sometimes they weren't very nice to each other. But she wasn't sure. She was like, I want to be safe. I want to make sure that no matter what happens, I can come back to home. And she took little bitty pieces of her soul. And she said, I love my squid so much. It's my favorite pet ever. So I'm going to leave just a little bit. My squid will hold just this little piece of meat. And then she went and she said, Mommy, I love you so much. She left just a little piece of her with her mommy. And she did that for all her favorite things. So then, when she went up to the land, she could always come back home. But that's just a story. Right? Yeah. Whatever. I'm not 5 anymore.
Well, thank you for sharing. I've seen a lot of amazing things in my lifetime that I wouldn't put any kind of hope out to pasture without investigating it.
I'll tell you what. You go chase some hope. I'm gonna go put this town together.
Starts with hope.
We'll talk about hope when you find my dad. And like that, like wall that had come down comes right back up. My heart. So the name wall comes up, stomps away from you. There's not really a better way to put it. The world has done her wrong. She will take it out on the world one stomp at a time. What do you want to do?
Time for a team meeting. Go team.
Team meeting.
I think Kit's just been like in the infirmary, just still, you know, healing people where they can, but we'll come out for team meeting.
What is that? Is that me too? Should I go to that?
Yep.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
I'm gonna go in.
Do I look okay? I'm like adjusting my armor is like clank clank. You know, like.
I think Kit like coughs and blushes a little and then says, yeah, I mean, you look amazing. You look great.
Thanks. I like the whole like rogue thing. Whatever that is.
Unexpected, but not unwelcome.
Looks really good.
Thanks.
So is anybody seen Captain Lucky?
Not since we all broke.
Yeah, they kind of just disappeared.
When you go looking for Lucky, they are
We're going to go get lucky.
well, I mean, we are up all night for it.
Hey.
They are you've been talking to different people in the town. They have that same scroll that they brought out when like when they asked for a drop of Kit's blood, like, okay. And it really, for all intents and purposes, looked like they have been doing some kind of paperwork, possibly a census. And while they would never be so crass to audibly sigh and run away from the paperwork that they had to do, they are definitely not, like, when you're like, oh, hey, we need to talk to you, it's like, oh, okay, of course, I'm so sorry to, I'll just, yeah.
Happy to get the distraction.
Nobody calls.
Sal has been kind of back and forth between the open area, helping people do different things, like, Sal is able to direct the water currents to help clear some of the area in the coral section. So they have mostly been focused in there doing weather magic.
Nice.
Sweet.
Okay, what's the subject?
So, it seems like the Annihilator, aka Evil Brian, the Annihilator's sort of real name, I think, came here and was after Nanif's father. And from all intents and purposes, he wasn't able to do what he normally does. So in our world, you kill somebody who's your double, and you eat their soul.
So, just to be clear, Naniv's father was the double of Brian?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I asked her what happened to him, and she said that she tried to contact him at some consulate or something, the land of the dead. If you could explain that to us.
Well, yes. I mean, everyone goes and the consulate keeps a record, and when you show up, you have to be assigned to your new residence, and the consulate keeps track of everyone who passes through the gates. and make sure that they come into their allotted time, that they are not taking unauthorized leave from the land of
Wait.
the dead.
Passing through the gates. You mean everyone who dies?
Yeah.
But
This
yes,
is
how
like-
else would we know who was there?
Like heaven?
I know. Yeah.
It's a lot.
I mean, it's more like how this existence deals with death. Well, Nynaeve said that he didn't make it. And there's no record.
Well, what happens when somebody dies and they don't go to heaven here?
Everyone goes to the land of the dead.
I
But he
asked that
didn't.
question. And Nynaeve confirmed he wasn't there. I asked her how could that may have happened. And then was provided a pretty gut-wrenching story that she had been told through her childhood by her father about imbuing his soul into different things so that if the person in the story were to die, that they would be able to come back through these other items or be stuck in those items, or I'm not exactly sure.
Woof.
So maybe
Huh.
Oh, that's unlucky, kind of. I mean, the Finfolk have. I mean, it was a trickster goddess. It wasn't really just a random person coming
Okay.
back from the dead. She was, curiosity killed the cat and all of that. I mean, not this cat.
Heather looks like visibly uncomfortable. Like, do we laugh? Is that okay? Like,
Hector will laugh. That's good gallows humor.
Yeah. But it's not like shouldn't be possible. I've never heard of it being possible, but then again,
It's possible.
they
Well-
do erase my memories all the time, so
Oh, I was gonna ask if maybe you could. Sorry, that scrambled my brain a little bit. I was gonna ask if you could check through your records to see if Nynaeve's dad had gone through, and there was just some kind of mix-up.
well, let me check the rules. And they pull the
Die and kill here. I mean,
Hey.
like, who did he come for?
are you asking Lucky to call their manager?
Yeah. Can I speak to your manager?
His hair suddenly just like
Yeah.
bang,
No.
blonde and spiky,
card.
you know?
And Lucky goes through and oh.
Oh,
A lot
What
of
I
unread
understood,
messages, I assume.
Look.
Ebrian was coming after Nynaeve's father, and Ebrian left unhappy.
yeah.
There is no record of Elder Nereus making it to the gates.
Hmm.
So that's strange.
Oh, someone's gonna be in trouble. But there's also no record of Elder Nereus's. Like, no ambassador has been sent to retrieve him. So it is not that he got in line and then decided to come back, which does happen. People think, oh, my time isn't yet. That's part of what we do. We just, like,
Right.
it's always somebody with the, like, oh, somebody kind of take it with them, whatever.
Okay. I think this is gonna. I don't know if she's gonna let us, but I think I need to go and, if he's here, take a look at Nynaeve's dad.
Is he here?
I don't know. They have a morgue, but I don't know if he's in there or
Maybe
Brian didn't kill him.
What are you gonna do with him?
Yeah, I guess I haven't talked about this one much because I haven't done it much. But I can sometimes see what happened when somebody died. It's not
Oh.
fun.
That sounds horrible.
I wonder if
It's
there's a resident Death Rider.
I don't know. But I guess we should go talk to Nynaeve. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. But did her dad die? Or did he disappear?
I don't know. I mean,
She said he
did
died, right?
He died. He
Yeah,
died.
Okay, so
The issue currently is that
The soul's missing.
his soul is missing.
yeah.
right.
Which sometimes I can read that energy, so I could go try it if
It's
she'll
our-
let me.
Best. It's our best plan so far.
Well, I'll go to where it happened and see if I can get a Death Rider.
Okay, and I'll see if I can touch. Again, if she'll let me, if he's around. The last one was, he was, buried, so, as long as there's still something there, I guess, right? I don't know why I'm asking. None of us know how this works.
It's like, maybe if I just say it out loud.
Maybe if I just will it into existence.
Like it says, I'm gonna have to make some unpleasant calls.
Sorry about that.
I
Can we avoid these
I'll be
calls
back.
until we can?
Yeah, I mean, we might not even need to. If we're able to find it and
Sort it.
swoop it right on back in, then that's the medical term.
Mhm.
Yeah, you should definitely put difficult things off until later.
Oh! Is the sound Chainsaw Soul makes.
We're doing the
That was a
difficult
good one.
thing now, right?
I mean, everything's difficult.
But I understand what you're saying, but SN. Unfortunately, in my capacity as an ambassador,
Yeah, that makes sense.
also he needs to. If I make these calls, I can authorize you temporarily to be temporarily contracted with the consulate, which will make life
Oh.
easier on me mostly, but also on you, because if another ambassador happened to come across you messing with souls, then if you're temporarily contracted, they won't attempt to
Kill me.
Wait, what?
not necessarily kill, but definitely subdue and possibly eject.
Right.
Huh.
At least until everything gets sorted.
Also, if Chainsaw gets another nickname, I'm pretty sure he's down.
Oh, yeah.
What I love Heather
names,
as the
please.
outside observer to all of us, just having a normal conversation, and Heather being like, "Death is on the table."
It's okay, you're not going up against a Sicilian. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do it from the ship.
Okay. Good
Right.
luck.
Thanks. Oh. And then like it just
Long
Yes.
sustains.
yes. It is very much like, I don't wanna. And Sal is like, oh, come on, it's not that bad. And kind of grabs their arm and swims them up. Propels them much faster than either of them could swim by themselves back up towards the ship.
Lucky has executive dysfunction. We've all been there.
Yes.
Lucky has also been on their own for a while, like without any real like jobs from the consulate. Has been enjoying that freedom to just sail around and eat whatever they want to eat.
Mm.
So fair. I mean, Kit's gonna go find Nynaeve. Did you want to go to the?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna find one of the people he was helping out earlier. Like, hey, can you show me where everything just kind of went down?
Okay, so
On the look for Nynaeve, I was gonna go with Kit, and take their hand if that's okay, and just like in the amount of time that it takes to walk around and look for Nynaeve, just be like, so are you sure you're okay with doing this? This sounds awful, like looking into somebody's memory of death.
It's okay. Yeah, it's hard, but I mean, I shouldn't make a joke about that. You and Sapna are so mad at me.
I mean, define mad.
Lovingly.
Okay.
But she's hurting, and I can do something to help with that, so I want to.
Yeah, I get that, and you should because you can.
You are just really coming at me today.
No, look. In what way? What? I'm sorry. It's like
No,
if you can
yeah.
do something, you should do something, right? Like that's
Okay.
that's
I
the
thought you
thing.
were being sarcastic.
What did you think I was being sarcastic about?
Well, see, some people have said that just because I can doesn't mean I should. So it's actually refreshing to hear someone say the opposite.
I don't think I've said that.
No, you have not. You know what? I was bringing a previous interaction into this conversation, and that's on me. I'm sorry. You're the perfect woman.
We've established that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. I'm gonna be okay.
do you want to go with Hector? Or are you gonna do something else, or?
We're all going to the same place, aren't we?
I'm going to where
Scene of
the
the
dad
crime.
got nuked.
Nynaeve of the crime.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So we're gonna start with you find one of the people that you helped out earlier, and they're a little like, okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. You want to see what happened. And I guess some people have talked about making a tourist attraction. I guess that's
Memorial? More than a tourist?
but yeah, they lead you to what there was a house on the outskirts of the hole. Not really like set aside so much as like had a very well manicured Zen garden situation going out in the front. And had, I guess is the operative term there. Because it looks like an Ebrian hit it. You know? And while Ebrian did not get H. Brian's torpedo punch, he had plenty of destructive ability on his own. The house is basically not flattened, but sections of it have been blown aside. Other parts of it are like caught on fire, which is not a thing that most people, I think, are very versed in down here, because most things are too wet to catch on fire, even if they are not in the ocean part of things. So the house is in a lot of disrepair, and the person who led you over here is kind of like, we always used to go over, and some of us used to make fun of how obsessed Nereus was with the yard, but like, get off my lawn! You're leaving footprints in my in my designs. Da 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 da. But I'm.
Did he have a favorite thing in the yard?
Whose place was it?
I mean, this was the place everybody got to see. But if you really needed to find him, like, if you really needed to get away, there was this cave, not far away, like not super far, but it was. Looks around. It was a secret. None of us were supposed to know that he went back there to take a nap when he didn't want to talk to people. Like, build stuff. He had some kind of prison he was building. I don't know.
Prison?
That's what he said. It was supposed to be a super secret, and that one actually meant that no one knew what it was he was working on. And he got real mad when we snuck over there to try to find out.
Did you say prison or present?
Present.
Okay, but I heard prison.
I heard prison too.
Oh, no, sorry.
I heard present, and I was like, is the present a prison?
I was like, why are y'all so upset right
Building
now?
a super secret prison?
Oh,
What a fun prison he
he's
made.
an asshole. We're leaving him.
But he,
Check out the cave.
we're gonna miss it. We're gonna miss him a lot.
Seems like he poured everything into this tiered village. We're gonna try to figure out what we can do to get him where he needs to be.
Yeah. If only so the knife can finally yell at him, which he's always wanted to.
I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
We're supposed to like fix the tear or something. I can't remember.
I think we're figuring it out as we go.
All right.
He's gonna like sit down and just kind of like reach out and see if he can pick up a Death Rider.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it for me. And before you tell me what you got, unless you want to re-roll it for some reason. Okay.
He got a pair of 9s because I spent 4 willpower for a wiggle.
Oh, nice. Great. And then we're gonna cut over to Kit and Heather. Yeah, we look for the grumpy cloud of clouds. You find Nave very much micromanaging. Some people doing things that they know what they're doing, and she doesn't actually know the specifics of what they're doing, but she's micromanaging them anyway.
Oh.
Is this the kind of thing where they know her, so like they're letting her do this because they know she's hurting?
Oh yeah, 100%. This is like, they are not where you would expect to see people be like, no, really shut up and go away.
Yeah.
They are very much not saying anything because it's like, we know you need to do something, therefore we are going to let you do this.
Yeah.
But they are also not actually listening to her advice or anything. Like,
They're just doing what they're supposed to be doing.
yes. Like, she will say to do something a certain way, and they'll be like, and then just do it the way that they needed to do it in the first place.
Perfect.
Oh, Dad.
Yep.
Yeah, so Kit will approach and say, hey, Nanif, Hector let me know a little bit about your father. I hope that's okay.
I mean, literally everyone else knows about it, so I don't Yeah.
So I don't really know that there's like an easy way to prepare for this, but I guess I'll give you a little context. We checked and confirmed some of the things that you said, and we want
Yeah, because that's the kind of thing I would lie about. Go on.
okay, try to help. We want to I can do some things that might help us figure out what went on. Specifically, in the place where I come from, am able to interface with the dead a little bit, but not in the way of the consulate and figuring out like if they passed through the gates, but actually figure out what happened when something happened.
Oh, so you're like a soul hunter.
Sure.
That's a thing?
Every time someone says, "Oh, so you're like a," it's just been like, "Yes, yes." Whatever
I
helps.
totally know what that is, and that's what I am.
Yeah. Soul hunter, plant singer. Yeah.
Yep.
That's us.
Little secret lo-fi. Yeah. But I need to have contact with the person who died. I don't know if that's possible.
We literally can't find him. That's the point. I mean, if you
Oh,
need to
he's-
have contact with him, like,
Body
oh,
either.
oh no, his body's in the morgue.
Okay.
We haven't. I was waiting until we cleared out the rest of the rubble. I didn't want to have.
Yeah.
I don't want to say goodbye to everyone while there were still possibly people trapped underneath.
That makes a lot of sense.
So
And-
we've been keeping him over there.
Look, like you're dealing with one of the most difficult things somebody has to go through in their life, and your town was bombarded and everything all at once. And like if you want to just like point us in the right direction, you don't really have to be there for it. Like that's asking too much. But just know, like we're all here trying to help in some way, and if that gets later or whatever, like just know that going forward.
Okay. But I should be there because, look, I appreciate the sentiment. But this, and she taps the torque around her neck, means that I'm the one who's going to be able to get you into the morgue. Unless you can breathe underwater by yourselves.
We probably shouldn't focus on it while I'm trying to do this.
Okay. So she leads you back over to the morgue, and when you get... She doesn't bring you into the dry side to go through. She actually brings you up to the wall and starts singing. And the torque, the coral around her neck, glows and starts to grow. And actually ends up growing little pieces that come out and form shells. And she gives one to you, Heather, and one to you, Kit. Just keep it up to your nose and mouth.
Okay, sure.
Cool.
And it's, if you've never been under before, just give yourself a second.
Okay.
Sometimes people try to go too fast and then they end up breaking things. It's annoying.
Oh, in the water. Yeah.
I'm gonna do a Pooja, if it's all right. I want to like grab some little like whatever I've got with me and make like a little like seaweed holder
Strap.
for
Oh,
both of us. You know, like make seaweed straps for the mask.
I like
Um,
that. I love that.
Okay.
And Enge looks at you kind of like, oh, that's actually a really good idea.
It's just, hands free. It's nice to have your hands.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, a little bit of like, oh, I could probably make. And if I do, there is like a slight like business idea growing for this.
Yeah.
That she is happy to dive into to take her mind off of what we are about to.
Yeah.
That makes
do.
so much sense.
I don't know anything about this.
But she leads you through another door, and you realize that, like, while it looked like from the side of the infirmary that you had been in before, that it was kind of like curtains or something, like, or like diaphanous veil situation, that on the other side of that is a permeable coral wall that has been erected between the morgue and the rest, and that is why there is not an entrance from the other side.
Mm.
So you go in and laid out on these beds of coral across a room that it's horrific that it is this large, are finfolk of all laid out, waiting. The water and a combination of the magic that is coming up from the coral is what keeps them from decomposing, so they are actually all in the state that they were in at the time. Just on an above table level, so you don't have to worry about like it being gross or any grosser than it already is. The unfortunate thing that it can't do is erase the damage that was done to the bodies. Having fought with Brian before, it's not surprising to you, but it is still impactful. And I actually would say that since this is the first time Heather has seen anything like this, if I am correct.
Yeah. Yeah. She's a pediatrician in a hospital, but like not an ER doctor, or a surgeon even. So, yeah.
I'm just going to have you do a quick stability check, and 4
Yeah.
will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
It's also like the volume of it is a big part of it too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's not the dice app.
And if you feel that Kit should as well, I'm more than happy to say, yes, please.
I do think Kit's making a stability roll for different reasons. I think it's because a lot of people have injuries close to the ones that almost killed Chainsaw, and Kit is having a hard time like not pulling back into that moment. So
On 8 dice, I have a single pair of 5s.
Wow. Making it.
I've got 6s, baby.
There you go. So you both, like, I would say, stop in the doorway, just taking in the magnitude of all of this. And actually, Nynaeve ends up a few steps ahead of you before she realizes that you're both, like, just taking a second, breathing through it, realizing the kind of, like, when the abstract amount of damage that, like, oh, yes, Brian was punching holes in universes, but there is also a physical and specific damage that he has been doing that leaves its mark.
Yeah.
And you take that moment, but both make it through it. Continue to
Squeeze Heather's
follow
hand a
Nynaeve
little bit.
over to a coral bed that holds a man who was in a pitched battle for a very short amount of time. Brian was really efficient by the time he got here. While you can tell it wasn't over immediately, it was as close to immediately as possible, so the major damage was actually around his chest.
Mm.
So his face is pretty much in repose. It has been arranged in such a way that he kind of looks like he could be sleeping. And you can still tell that even in this kind of like sleep state, this is a man who commanded a presence. Even now, it's obvious. The way Nynaeve looks at him, this mixture of resentment and love and just like loss. And under her breath, she's like, nothing could ever be fucking easy with you, could it? But gets herself together and is like, this is, what do you need?
This is good. Just a moment. And
I will be outside.
Kid'll wait for her to take her exit and then kind of place their hands close to what looked like the final blow, as it were. And then we'll try to death ride.
And
Which I
Heather's just
imagine,
gonna
yeah.
put her hands on Kit's back, or hand on Kit's back.
Yeah. Thanks. I don't think anything will go wrong, but if something does, I guess Hector's probably my best bet. So,
Okay.
just so you know. Okay. And now I'm gonna roll, and I'm guessing this is like we both get reveals at the same time. It's
Mhm.
very exciting. Okay. Wow, that was a bad roll. I have a wiggle die in this, but I actually might spend willpower to do this again because my highest thing there was a 6, and I'm just a little worried. Okay. I just have 4 dice in this and then a wiggle die. That's better. That is 3 8s.
Okay, fantastic. So both of you will do kind of like that cinematic. At the same time, Hector reaches out with chainsaw at his back. And Kit reaches out and touching the body of Elder Nereus. And we kind of split screen. You get that static buzz, both of you, and almost like from 2 different perspectives. You are back at the moment in the house when Brian found Elder Nereus. And Elder Nereus was in the middle of like the most mundane thing. Like he was having some lunch, and he was like, I'm gonna go redesign the outside of my garden. And you could feel these thoughts coming through Hector. And suddenly there is just a massive explosion. And the first thing he thinks is Kraken, but no one said. And then the side of his house is torn away and incinerated. He comes face to face with Brian. And Brian is like, well, you don't look anything like I expected you to. But whatever it takes, I guess. And just rears back. And while Brian is having his little quip moment, Elder Nereus is not a stupid guy. He's like, what the fuck is going on? And he tries to get away. He goes to try to go into the next room, to the kitchen. He has knives in there, whatever. He's like, whatever I can do. And Brian, like, pulls straight in front of him. He's like, you're not getting away that easy. I need what you have, and you're going to give it to me. and he rears back his arm. And as he goes in for this impactful punch that is going to take the life of Eldernarius, Eldernarius just thinks to himself, not if I have anything to say about it. And the predominant thoughts in his mind are of this story. He has a flashback in his memory of telling the story that Neneve told you earlier to her. And you see them as he sits by her side, as she's like, but I don't want to go to sleep yet. And he's like, fine, I'll tell it to you one more time. Last time, and then you have to go to bed. And he thinks back to this, and he thinks about his daughter, how she is now. And he's like, I can't leave her behind again. And as this punch impacts his chest, he uses the force of it to grab on here. He says, if I keep them safe, you'll never find them. The you in that case being Ibrahim. And then the world goes black.
Do I feel where any of that energy goes?
You kid, get a sense of that energy behind you. Not that far away, possibly just outside the door. Hector, you are able to get a really good sense of what the essence of this man was. That love that he had for his daughter gave you recognize that. And while obviously he was not your doppelganger, it is a emotion and a stubbornness that resonates with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did the direction that Hector, did he get one?
You don't have one close to you, but you get a sense that if you go into like the sea portion, that there's one not actually that far away.
I think Kit pulls away, goes to like fall forward, and then is like, that's a body, and pulls the hands back. And goes, oh, fuck.
Heather's helping you up as well.
Shit, that's gonna suck. I look to you, Heather, and I say, I think his soul or energy or however things work around here is inside his daughter.
Okay. I mean, yesterday I didn't think souls were a thing.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like we've talked about like the energy like going out and
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
that's
think it's
just
like
what we're
that, but here.
okay.
Yeah.
Right. It's just what we're calling it. But then, so she has some of his, or all his soul energy, whatever.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's gonna do
Can that
anything.
be separated from someone?
I have no idea.
Hector starts to stand up. Chainsaw would see like his chin sort of like quivering, but like he's like biting his lower lip.
Mm.
Like he's like going through something. His eyes are watery. I think part of his soul is in the water over there. Can you breathe underwater?
No, but I can make a bubble. There's air in it. Are you okay?
Yeah, man. Let's get the shit done.
What did you see?
Brian.
Yeah.
Killing him. And what a father would do for his daughter. And I didn't want to tell the group, but when I was speaking with her, I think she's Rosalinda's doppel.
Can I like move my hand up and like just a little
Thanks.
pat on the back? Like if there's gonna be a hug, that'd be okay. But
It's just let's get her the help.
all right, should we find the others, or I suppose you could just call to them.
Yeah. Enter the brain chat.
Brain trash.
Brain
I
chat.
need to know how Heather reacts to being at the brain chat now.
Yeah, welcome to the brain chat, Heather.
All I have is this memory of the AOL chat room door sound effect.
Or the ICQ.
Yeah. It's ICQ for real. Yeah, I think like her eyes get real big, and like I think you've probably talked about it, Kit. Like,
Well, I think there would be, because the Avengers never been in it, right?
No.
That there
Right.
would be permission waiting to enter brain chat.
right. Invitation received.
Except
Yeah.
cookies.
Yeah. Yeah. So she accepts the enter, but there's this like, don't sing. That I don't know if everyone's hearing, but at least Hector can, of like trying to like remember how to be in the telepathic environment and not be a dick.
How to be normal. I'm so normal.
Think normal. Think normal.
Hector's
Be
thought
normal.
train that nobody would be able to be like, no, he would say, he'd be like, we're all just a special kind of normal, so just act how you want.
Okay.
Hey, did you get anything?
Yeah. Brian?
Yeah.
And then he thought of that story.
Yeah. I think at least some of the energy is inside Nineveh. I think.
Where is the morgue, I guess, compared to where they are? Is that in the direction that...
It is not in the direction that you. So, if we're gonna imagine, if you will, a hole in the ocean. And it's roughly circular, and so you've got this town that like is kind of spread out things, but it's like almost like a horseshoe situation, so that if there were like, because they have like landing places for people to
Yeah.
come in
Mhm.
if they're coming in from the air. Like you can imagine, like sometimes people parachute in because you have weather mages and stuff like that who could like basically fly them back up like a parasail. So they keep that center area kind of clear, and then they have a horseshoe with the town in that horseshoe, like going back into the ocean around it. And then kind of creating a circle once you get into the ocean portion. You are at one end of the horseshoe, and where you felt you felt that energy was actually in the opposite direction from where the morgue is, which is at the end of, like, kind of towards the other end of that horseshoe.
So I'm getting a piece or something over in yonder direction.
Okay.
Hey,
So,
are you sure it's like in Nynaeve and not like something she's holding or something?
Could be in something she's holding.
Maybe the torque.
Yeah, isn't that from her
Because I mean,
dad?
Yeah.
the thing that has me stressed out is y'all have absorbed some other powers, and there was a whole thing about not being able to separate them out again, and
Yeah, and that's not this.
that's
I don't
freaking me out.
think. Because if it was, then O'Brien would have gotten it.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Hmm.
Whew. But also, I just want to say this here while we're not in her earshot. I mean, I know we're in heads, but you know, and not staring off into the middle distance. Even if we get all of this together, I mean, maybe we could help him pass on, but if we don't want him to do that, this body is gonna need some serious help.
Yeah, that body doesn't look recoverable to me. That can't be anyone's expectation.
I don't know.
I think we'll have to do what we always do and just fly by the seat of our pants. But from what I got from the Knave was that the passing is what she's okay with. It's just the inability to find him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you mean, Fly? You guys don't make plans?
No, we definitely make plans.
We don't.
We made one for Brian. And that worked out well.
You were gone for a year.
I'm telling you, we don't make plans.
We didn't plan to be gone for a year.
You know what? You could at least try to make it good.
You know, I appreciate
just-
all of you being honest with me.
I mean, we get put up against difficult situations, and it's something that nobody's ever dealt with, so we have to figure out how to do it.
That's fair.
No, I get it. That makes sense. It's just I had a different thing in my mind, and I get it now, and it's fine.
It's not like we're out here, and he looks over at Chainsaw rolling 20s.
What?
I don't
Well,
know.
Chainsaw always says he likes when plans come together, so I assumed you had plans coming together.
Planning is essential. Plans are useless.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't.
Eisenhower said that.
Fuck that guy.
Sorry. Also, like, not to get too graphic or anything, but I can fix this. I just can't fix it, you know? So,
Let's just figure out where the pieces are, I guess,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
get to that road when we get there.
Yeah, there was something about a cave.
That too, with a present or something. One of the locals
Oh.
was telling us about it.
That's a good spot to check, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna see if my hunch was totally wrong. You all do that, and meet back up soon?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Team.
Break. Oh shit! I wasn't gonna say it. Sorry.
Wait, we're splitting up.
I mean, we're technically already split up.
Yeah.
It just feels so close to you.
Easy.
I mean, I think if we're gonna go out into the water to a cave,
Oh, is the cave in water?
yeah, I think we should maybe go together.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you
also-
guys got to get some of these shells we
Yeah,
got.
we've got like things on our mouths.
Wait,
It's
you got
great.
shells?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want a shell.
I have a bill.
that's true. But we'll get chainsaw shell, and also maybe you.
I think at that point Bill is like, I mean, shells are pretty.
Bill wants a shell.
Yeah.
I'm also
Bill wants a
picturing
shell.
Bill like 8 kids hanging off of him at this point or something.
Yeah, I do feel like if y'all are moving out of the area of the direct desolation,
Mm-hmm.
you have attracted a little like child posse. Because Bill looks very friendly and very
Because he's
playful.
Captain Jack Sparrow, that's why.
Yes.
The animatronic Captain
Yeah.
Jack Sparrow.
And I'm gonna call it now that there is a while there isn't television here in the Cast-Offs universe, I'm just gonna make this canon now. That there is a very popular puppet show that goes a traveling puppet show
Yes.
that goes
Terrifying.
around, and it is basically the Pirates of the Caribbean, right? Without some of the more egregious
Yeah.
aspects. But like it's like so Captain Jack Sparrow, whereas like doesn't quite 1-to-1 match up. They just think you're like a big fan.
Yeah, you're a cosplayer.
Yes.
You can't get all the
It's
details
actually a
right.
sparrow. Pirate Captain.
Yes, it is a bird.
But he's got the same hat.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's like, well, I mean, you didn't get the face and the nose right, but I mean, for a first
The beak.
try, like,
For homemade, it's really good.
yeah, exactly.
All right, cool. Kids, stay in school, learn your orals.
Learn your orals.
Yeah,
La, la.
that's the C in ABCs.
Cool.
Oh yes, bump trap. I like
we'll
a
grab-
shoal of kids.
Shoal of Kids is so good.
That's very good.
We'll grab some extra shells from Nenave. And also, do I still have like a bead on this energy? Can I like track it back? Is it around her or is it in the direction that Hector was?
You get the sense that there is energy. That energy that you recognize from your Death Rider trip
Cool.
is here.
Okay.
Hey, before we go out there, you're gonna explain to Nynaeve that you have to like search her, right?
Oh.
Well, we could use her as the final. Hey, we found all the other stuff.
Yeah,
The
listen,
power's
of course,
inside you.
I would not do anything to her without letting her know,
Well,
but
no. But what I was picturing a situation where we went out there and you stared at her real hard.
you know me so well.
Because I mean, there was the time at the hospital
Mhm,
where nobody knew what you were doing,
mhm.
and it just looked weird. And then we figured it out, and it was fine. But you know, she seems a little upset, and
I will also
volatile's not
say,
fair for what she's been through. But like, you know,
yeah, it was really helpful when you came up to me and said, "Hey, you're doing this. I don't know if you're doing this," because it had been years at that point, and everyone just, anyway, appreciated that. Yeah, no, good point, and I will keep my people are around me brain on, and yeah, I won't do that, and we'll save
Okay.
it for later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Thanks.
Oh, also, this is probably a bad time, but I'm in the running for head of pediatrics. But we can talk about
wait,
that later.
what? Seriously?
Yeah. It's I was kept trying to think of the right time to tell you. Sorry, it
Oh,
just
that's
is like
amazing. Fuck yeah. My kid genuinely is like very excited about this and does have that moment where they're like, abandon everything. I want to talk about this now. And then they're like, fuck no. Okay.
well, that's a really good energy to bring to that conversation, though. So that's noted. Okay.
yeah.
So that she is redirecting you of like, no, I shouldn't have brought it up. It's okay.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, cool. On the ship or something. The ship's cool. And yeah. Okay, let's go. Listen, they're living that dink life. Maybe Tink?
What?
Wait, is that a time for like a quick smooch before like we're in
Yeah.
the gross morgue, but we're like,
Well, we have to get out of the morgue because we do have shells on
Yeah.
our face.
oh yeah, we're like, well, what if we like clank shells? But we're like, oh shit.
yeah.
That moment is canon.
Ah,
Got
good.
those happen.
Amazing. And we head out to regroup.
Okay. In the interest of convenience and plot devices. At this point, Lucky is going to come back down, having communed, having had their phone call. And you notice that their eyes kind of have a residual, like, orange glow to them. It's a little unnerving, but they seem really normal about it. Sal doesn't seem to be anything else is wrong, but and they tell you that, okay, so I just need you all to sign, and they pull out 4 different scrolls.
Scrolls.
And it's not that there's one for each of you. It is that this contract is 4 pages long. And it is not 4 pages like our pages. It is 4 full, like
long ass
like
scrolls.
long ass
Fucking
scrolls
awesome.
long. And it's like, in order for you to go and do this and like become official sanctioned soul hunters for a temporary period, and the extra pages because I managed to get them to agree to a non-memory wipe clause. You're welcome.
That was an option.
It's the norm. It's actually the standard.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Mhm.
So
How
I
does
just
anybody
need-
know what they did?
sometimes other people tell you.
That seems upsetting.
Well, you don't remember, so it's fine. And so they give you like these scrolls to sign, and yeah, just don't bother about the fine print. We'll be here all day.
I'm sorry to indulge, but I'm enjoying getting to like straight man react
No,
to
I
my
love
own world building bullshit.
Isn't it great?
That sounds fucking stupid. Why would anyone do that? Sorry, no, that's not
Amazing.
what she's saying. But
But it is kind of the vibe. It's like, I like it. It's like,
Yeah.
what? Why would anyone agree to this?
And I do love the concept of Lucky says like, don't worry about the fine print, and Kit is like leaning over to Heather and being like, I'll take the first half if you take the second. We can cover ground faster that way.
yeah, and they're obviously both like outstanding students, right? Like
of
getting
course
through
we
med
won't
school
read
and
the
everything.
fine print.
Yeah.
So what you see in this contract, actually, I am going to
Doing this.
have you both roll
Research.
your, so you have research, you have
I have research.
okay, you both have research. Yeah, that sounds good. Do it.
I feel like Hector just straight up signs it because he's like, I was in the military. I got jabbed with a bunch of shit. I don't know what's getting into my body.
Don't do it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, like who cares?
Like,
man?
I'm not signing shit until my lawyers read it.
I got
Uh,
3.
Tell me what it means.
Hey, I signed the TOS at Amazon.com, so like,
Yeah.
Which
wait,
does
what
have
do
a
I have?
memory
7
clause.
dice? What is this? Research 7 dice.
Yeah. So you're not signing at all.
No, I'm waiting until they're.
We're
Oh,
the
they are
lawyers.
your
Yes.
lawyers. Oh, okay.
I got a pair
Uh,
of 3s, so it is a success, just a low one.
Yeah.
I'm-
sorry,
I'm
I
gonna-
didn't mention it before, but like our baseline here, we'll go with our base, which would be 4.
Okay.
Ironically enough, I got a straight, so I'm gonna spend a willpower. Should I have the
probably
two-
spend a will.
2 10s or 3 9s, Pooja? Which do you want?
Can you give
2
me the 3
10s.
9s and I'll you can
there
have
we
the
go.
2 10s.
Yeah. I think that's how Wild Talents works.
it's how it works. As long as it's going to work that way for the rest of the campaign.
I love that on 7 dice, I go from a literal straight, like no matches, to a 3 of a kind and a 2 of a kind
Of the
out of
best
7
matches.
dice. Like,
Yeah. That is nice. It must be nice to get 3s of a kind, as opposed to me who just gets like 4 pairs on 8 dice.
that's wild.
Did you want to try again, or are you gonna go
you
with the
know
3s?
what? What I think is really funny is that I think Kit didn't go to college with Heather.
And so like had a very like solitary life for the last of their college years, and it's like I'm doing research with my girlfriend and gets totally distracted. I'm just so excited about having a study buddy that they fail.
Yeah.
I like this so much. Thank you for that.
And I'm doing this like incredibly detailed outline, right? Of like, boom, 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 like grabbing all the important data, like ready to compare notes, you know.
What you start off so strong, Kit, on this contract, and then that hits you. It's like, I never had a girlfriend in college that I got to study with, and it's word salad all the way down for the next 2 pages.
The greatest day of my life.
You remember some key phrases like Consulate of the Dead and Soul Hunter and Authorized Representative.
Hell yeah. This all looks great.
And then meanwhile, Heather, who has basically set up with the midlighter set and a separate like branching tree outline.
Can I say Heather has the finished group projects on her own vibe?
It normally has that. And comes up and realizes that from the second half of the contract, you've missed all the kind of basic groundwork laying, but Lucky was telling the truth. There is a sub-clause in which the memory wipe, the standard memory wipe of all work done with the consulate is in this case not going to apply, and the herefore signed will not be bound by that standard, but you do agree to an NDA in which you do not give out secrets of the consulate that would only be known to soul hunters, to people who are not also bound by the same clauses and in current contract, not future, not past, definitely not future contracts with the consulate. And so you agree to keep that to yourself. You agree to work under the supervision of the aforementioned ambassador. And then there is a very long name, Joshi, also known as Lucky. And
yeah, it's a nickname.
And I could pull it up, but it was a big secret in the original campaign, and I like
it was funny.
It stays a secret.
Yeah.
It's like when two trans people are paying each other on PayPal and you see each other's dead names, but you're like, no, I don't. I don't see that shit. We all just see it and go, I don't know that.
Nope.
I don't know.
Definitely not that person.
And so in all of this, like, you are authorized to and contracted for the retrieval of one soul to be retrieved, and this contract also specifies that it will be returned to its original place in line for the consulate for further processing and placement.
This contract is gorgeous. Do you want to like trade notes and like double check our work?
Fuck.
I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
I already signed it. I mean, I feel like whatever's going on, we should just move forward with this.
Chainsaw's like just watching Kit and is like, oh, I know what's happening right now.
Just kind of like leans in and goes, I'm going to be totally honest. You were just like really hot in that moment, and I got very distracted.
Wait, really?
I'm sorry. Yes.
Well, I'm okay with that.
Okay, cool. Your notes look great.
Yeah, they goddamn do.
Amazing. And I sign it.
Now that's probably the like kiss without the shell moment.
Yeah.
Because we're back in the like air area. The area.
Area.
Everyone's glad that I said that.
I loved it.
and then yeah, sign and like, okay, we're
Oh, you all are so cute. Signs it too.
special agents or whatever.
Yay.
So Lucky gives you they take the contract back and they give to each of you a little pin that is just like it's exquisitely crafted in fine detail. It is a skull and crossbones.
I love it.
I went to
Like,
attach it
very
to me
well.
and I realized I don't have a shirt on.
Wait, you don't have a shirt?
No,
What- how-
Straps.
Straps.
just straps.
Oh, right.
But I'll put it on my pants.
Also looks good.
And then also hands you what it's like the size of a can of like one of these cans of fizzy water that I'm drinking, but it is an urn. And on the outside, it is a lot of like carvings and what if you could read this language would be a lot of words and like more contractual language that goes onto the urn. And look, if you can isolate the pieces, they'll coalesce in here, and once it is full, basically he has to agree to the contract, but then it breaks and he comes out.
Did we just become Ghostbusters?
What? I mean, we don't have to.
Maybe.
I mean, like,
I get that
we're
reference.
not cops.
No, but we're gonna trap a ghost.
If he wants to be.
Okay, so that's not trap. That's inviting. We're ghost
Yeah.
inviters.
We're
Yeah,
ghost
that's
inviters.
not busting as much as it is inviting. Yeah.
We're
Unless it's like
host
busting,
busters.
like, you know.
We're hosting.
Ghost
We caught
hosters.
you. They caught you trying to do it.
That's
Busted. You know?
Yeah, no, that would suck. Okay, yeah, I'm with you.
hosters. There
Ghost,
we go.
host, hosters.
Ghost hosters.
Ghost toasters.
Okay. So you have this vessel, which is the word I was looking for earlier. And if you would like, Lucky is kind of like, so I also got chewed out for not finishing my census before I called back in. But if you need my help, I'll come with you. I will definitely come with you if you need my help.
Oh,
Look,
we
we're really
need
not good at
your
breaking stuff.
help
I mean,
so
wouldn't you rather get your
much.
paperwork done? So you don't have to worry about it later?
Wait.
I mean, we could use somebody who knows how to navigate in this underwater area. We've never.
Oh,
done this
okay.
before.
Yeah, that,
Hmm.
I mean, that's probably a better idea.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Sarah, am having a revelation.
Uh-oh.
No, it's okay. I'm just
Heather is now my executive function fantasy.
Yeah, I'm literally like the partner with ADHD versus the partner without ADHD.
Yeah. This is my
Yeah.
actual home.
Oh,
Amazing.
that reminds me of some good times.
Off we go.
So, it sounds like y'all want to start. Where do you want to start? I'll ask that question rather.
I think we should start with the underwater cave.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Let's go to the cave. Find the present.
Yeah.
Wasn't exciting.
Yeah, before we tell Nynaeve that the ghost of her father is lingering on her somewhere.
Yeah,
Um,
that's gonna be.
Yeah, we'll save that for last.
I mean, I don't think we can say ghost, say the loving embrace.
the,
You know?
That still sounds terrible.
Energy.
Whatever.
the peace.
See, you're into this whole seat of the pants thing now, Heather.
So
Welcome to the pants seat.
the very super secret cave. Literally everyone in town can give you directions to it. everyone knows where it is.
Mm.
It was. It
Oh,
was
where
the
was
worst
Nereus hiding? Oh yeah, we could tell you that. That's so good.
And they give you pretty explicit details. Are you going to do a bubble? Do you want to do
We do
the masks?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Two things. I think Bill is definitely wearing a shell, and he's also wearing the badge.
Okay.
Mm.
so you get the shells, head out. This cave. If there was a Finfolk analog for it's not a man cave so much as it is like
Fan cave.
Fin cave?
a fin cave, like crafting room. Like it's like if what you would think of as a man cave in a place that doesn't have any television, like met a very, very nice crafting room for someone who has ADHD.
Yes.
And they got married and lived in a single room apartment.
I'm looking around my home office right now. Yeah.
That is what this cave is. There is like a very nice like hammock set up on one side. Like Nereus, he was definitely gonna get back to that bowl of nuts at some point. Like there's some like other stuff, like random snacks. There's every like half-sun coral stuff. There's like a shade, like you see a mechanism on the side, and like when you pull the lever, a section of the wall comes up, and when you look out, you realize like that looks kind of familiar. And you realize he set it up so he can watch the local like teams play their version of like soccer, like underwater soccer,
Mm-hmm.
in the world's creepiest way possible. Like without
Amazing.
leaving his cave, he could look out the window and watch them and like eat his nuts.
It's a TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the side there's like half-made projects here, there. There's a bunch of supplies. There's a bunch of supplies for something like some other kind of craft that are also mixed in with those, and I'm sure those go together. Not sure how, but eventually.
Did he bring any of his like potted gardening projects or anything? Like maybe some plants that are wilting?
Yeah, there are a few like little what we'll say is this is rather than like gardening projects in this area, what it is that it's lit by a series of phosphorescent seaweed
Ooh. Okay.
that you can tell, Heather, that isn't doing so great right now. Like
Okay.
it needed something like in order to keep its phosphorescence, that is a Finfolk feeding it a certain type of plant food. Otherwise, it isn't bright enough to see by. It is an enhancement of its natural properties rather than it is just always on.
Okay. I think that's pretty, like when we walk in, there's like so much to look at. I'm like, ooh, glowy plant. And I'm just going to kind of reach out and see if I can help it be its best.
And you got to realize, and then it's like you've been dealing with these plants on the like in the infirmary,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, and there's also a little tickle in the back of your mind that you're like, if I just, if I made this bloom, it would create something that would go really well with some of the plants that were over there, and like it's like a dual or tri-purpose kind of plant for them. It's
Oh,
not
wow.
just a phosphorescent.
Okay.
Oh,
Cool.
So yeah, y'all are in the Elder Nereus's super secret,
Not so.
Not-
super secret.
not so secret cave.
Can Hector make scrutiny or telepathy roll to like see if there's like an imprint he can pick up?
I think that I'm going to say this, that I'm going to flex the way that Death Rider works just a little bit. That in order to pinpoint where, like, you got that first initial burst of where these essences had gone to, but in order to pinpoint where they went specifically and to extract them, will be 2 separate rolls. And to pinpoint, you can use your telepathy because you got a really good sense of who this person was, and you can see like where his kind of essence went. I'm never gonna use that word again. It's so
Essence?
dirty. Yeah. Like you can see where the pieces of his soul went using your telepathy.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to extract it, I will have you use Death Rider. So yeah, you can go ahead and use your telepathy here.
Kit, what does a soul look like? So I'm still like looking around, like
Energy.
So artfully hidden, actually hidden, underneath and behind, like there's, so what you see, like what you first, like as you cast your mind out and you're like, there was this guy who was so in his last moments, all his thoughts were for his daughter. But you know he was more than that. You can see that he was more than that. But you're able to trace that essence back to, God, you're able to trace that impression of him back to.
It doesn't sound dirty to me. That's all I'll say.
I think it's the kind of books I read. Yeah, that makes sense.
I know exactly where you are with that one. And I do.
And at first you're like, they're really? Because this looks a lot like he was repairing a toaster oven. And then you realize that, like, it's not a toaster oven. It's just some other kind of, like, mechanical thing that has that same shape. And that...
water fryer.
Basically. It's a perpetual boil machine.
Mm-hmm.
It's not coming from there. The thread that you're following, like, as you open it up, there's something inside of it. And there is an intricate and exquisite carving. Like, you've seen what it looks like when the Finfolk, like, sing coral into existence. And it grows, and it's still, like, it's into the shapes that they would like it to be, but it's still a natural, like, organic, it's doing what coral wants to do within those confines. This piece has been so beautifully refined. And it's a small structure that is like a feminine figure with a small child next to her. And the child looks not quite done yet. Like, it's kind of just like a little, like, chibi right now.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the adult, like, feminine figure, it is not, but does bear a striking resemblance to Nene. And it ends up, it's like probably about a foot tall. And that is where the piece of his soul is.
He turns the box to Kit. This is our first find.
Okay.
Is that a statue of Nynaeve?
Just like her.
Yeah.
Oh, refresh. Did Lucky come with us?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But not Nynaeve. Okay, got it.
Chainsaw's in the corner trying to figure out how to put some of these nuts in his mouth without getting it full of water.
Save them for later.
Are we not doing phrasing anymore? 'Cause you have to tell me.
I mean, if you want to try, I'm here to help, or if you want to do it the other way around.
It takes a lot of me to do Death Rider
Okay.
with any kind of real success.
Okay. Yeah, I've got this. And Kit will carefully take this piece of sculpture and try to focus their energy on it to transfer it and connect with the energy.
I'm gonna hold the little container up.
It's gonna be because you have the vessel.
Mm-hmm.
The vessel, thank you. The vessel.
It's just gonna be 5s.
5s. Okay. Here we go. 6s.
Lots of 6s. Nice.
Okay.
As you hold this statue, you connect it to the sense that you got before, and the sense that you felt of that piece, like, as it left his body. And you actually get a flash of the scene that the statue is representing, which is Aldernarius watching his partner play with Nynaeve. So that's Nynaeve and her mother. And they were in the middle of this thing about to, like, her mother was about to, like, take her and swing her around, like, in the, like a propeller, mommy, like a propeller. So just like this one flash of, like, utter joy. And you're able to direct that into the vessel.
Okay.
Look, he, like, taps on the side. That's okay. Yeah. Guess that makes sense.
What?
It's not quite half, but it's like 40%.
That's good.
You can tell if you can that it's like this whole long detailed explanation of, like, reading the different, like, measurements on this, like, device that I'm sure
They're like,
Heather and
wiggles it.
Or like,
yeah.
You just hear crunch, crunch. There's a bubble around my face.
gave up on the shell.
I love that it's like a fishbowl helmet, but reverse, right? Of like an air bubble.
Yes, yes. Each nut has its own tiny bubble.
So we're missing one, right?
I think, yeah, the other one's back with Nynaeve.
If that is, in fact, more than half, but there could be a third piece.
Could be. I think that there's a good likelihood that most of it's with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Do we want to have Lucky explained?
I feel like that's...
Seems official.
Well,
Is it official, or is it us trying to get out of a hard conversation?
are you asking this in front of Lucky?
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so. Right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So Heather said, well, Lucky, do you know Nynaeve very well?
No, technically, I guess I've been here before, but under official business.
So you don't know her any better than we do.
No.
So
I'm not
Well-
the ambassador assigned to this region.
No, that's fine. I just mean, like, honestly, from what I saw earlier, it seemed like Kit had a pretty good rapport with her, and that's there, like that's established. Like maybe that's the best way is to have Kit talk to her about it. I mean, if you're okay with it, I don't mean to like put that on you, but
Yeah.
I just don't know how the world works, and I don't want to impose anything. But like, hey, we have your dad's soul juice.
Honestly, I keep saying things and people keep going, oh yeah, that's that. So somehow I'm saying the right thing sometimes. No, yeah, I can do it.
I mean, honestly, she doesn't need a technical explanation of what's going on.
Yeah.
and it sounds like it's not even all bad news. Like if we're helping her dad get the rest of the way where he's supposed to be.
She'll be able to call him.
When I told her I was gonna get this done, she didn't buy it.
Yeah.
Right. So at least if some of it comes from Lucky, it doesn't just seem like bullshit on our end.
I mean,
Hey, we signed the scrolls. We're official.
Yeah.
if I'm being honest, I'm thank you. Very willing to do it. I just saw something really sad. But this is not any indication of my willingness. So
I can do it.
The look that Heather gives Kit, the secret look of like, please don't let Chainsaw do this. That only partners can interpret.
magic psychic ability.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Good with people.
Also, yeah, like if you the player are like, we should have Lucky do this.
No,
like,
it's just Hector's
yeah.
throwing it out.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I the player am totally good with Kit doing it. Kit's just like Kit has like a good relationship with their parents that they also do not check in on a lot. So like being like, oh, here's this like beautiful moment with a parent figure, they're like, oh. So yeah. Anyway. But they're ready to go.
Yeah. I mean, you have to give people news in the hospital.
Yeah, they're
You know,
very used to this.
It's like that.
We go to find Nynaeve, right? Yeah.
She has found more busy work. Other people are putting up with it.
Yeah.
It's funny, sad.
Hey.
Yeah?
We have pretty good news, honestly.
Okay. Did you find him? Is he in line? Like, is he getting processed?
No. But he can be. Basically, your dad really wanted to stay here with you. And that story that he told you was a little more true than he let on, I think.
Are you telling me he taught child me how to break my soul into pieces? As a bedtime story?
Listen,
It is a last resort.
I guess the universal truth is that parents aren't always perfect, but hopefully they always love us, you know? And he definitely loved you a lot. But I think part of him is with you right now. And we want to take him home.
Oh, you don't mean figuratively. You
No,
mean literally.
Literally, yeah.
Okay. Great. I'm sure it's like it's part of this freaking symbol of office bullshit that they give me. Here you go.
Oh. What am I handed?
It's a coral torque that has come off in it's like hinged, like hidden hinges.
Mm-hmm.
So she just takes it off of her neck and kind of soft tosses it to you. It's like, ugh.
Okay.
Thanks, sex.
Is this the vibe that I'm picking up? Should I don't have telepathy.
I'm
Can I roll it?
yeah.
I still have yet to get a fucking pair. 4 nights.
I have yet to get a pair.
I got
4
pairs.
nights.
Anyway.
It is not coming from the torque. You realize that
It's coming from inside the body.
oh no. It is actually coming from inside her. There is, because I'm going to bring this all the way back. Somehow, in the spot where that, piece of the spinal column is that Kit normally, it's from there. Whew. Cool. You'd be like, oh, it's wedged next to your heart. It's like, nope. It's wedged right back into her spinal column.
It's not the torque.
No.
Your dad left some of his soul in a place that's very known to us from where we come from. The doc knows how to explain it, but there's a place in our neck that helps us do the incredible things that we can do.
Oh.
And that's
It's
where I'm
it's where
sensing-
magic comes from.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I
Oh God!
it's in you.
The head chat. We don't have to crack her open, do we?
No.
And at the same time as you say that, she's like, you don't have to crack me open.
Perfect. Just like in stereo.
Kid says no here and then no out
No.
loud.
No, definitely not.
No, but do you mind if I take your hand?
That's fine.
Okay.
You don't mean remove from my body.
No, again, just holding it. Violent assumptions.
And maybe it grows
Do
back.
you
I
mind
could
if
do
I
that.
take your other hand? Just for support.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to do the same thing. With a person, feels like it's gonna be harder. But
Yeah, that's not comforting.
oh no, I don't say that out loud. That could be speaking to you, the GM. This is gonna be bad.
But
I was like, I know you
moving
have
on.
no situation, but wow.
That classic bedside manner that kid is so famous for.
Oh my
So,
god.
Yeah, it's gonna be sevens. I'm gonna
Okay,
say.
sevens. Okay. Kit closes
Jason, that
their
feels
eyes.
about
Yes.
The right difficulty? 7s?
Sevens. Yeah.
let's say sevens.
8s.
Yeah, well, there we
Always
go.
one above.
So this time, as this link is activated between actually the three of you, you go back and see, it's like a montage of all these moments from Neneve's point of view, where she's like, working on her singing real hard, and she's like, I did this and it's amazing, and her dad is off somewhere like dealing with some town shit. Like there was a Kraken sighting and they have to deal with that and like divert it so it doesn't destroy the town. There's another time where she's like, oh yes, I like had this other achievement, and she goes and someone has been hurt in a tectonic shift and he's nowhere to be found. And it's just this series of like little blips. And she starts off like just over her teenage years and angry, and then learns to like just damp it down as she goes through. And she actually like it is just like until everything like flattens out. But the one thing that she never stops doing is trying to get to him and have him see her. So that is what you get, Hector, from Nene's point of view. From this piece, this large chunk of his soul, Kit, you get the other side of it, which is, I have to get this done so this town is safe for my daughter. If we don't move this Kraken, her school could be in the direct path. If I can just deal with this, then I can still make it to meet her. Okay, I have to deal with this, but then I can get back. And it is just over and over and over again where this duty that he has had has been pulling him in one direction, and he has always been pulling back to get back to her.
Great. I think as Kit's like hands are with Hector, with Nynaeve, just tears like spilling down their face.
So this piece comes out, you're able to guide it into the vessel as Heather and Chainsaw hold it for you, or as Heather holds it and Chainsaw eats more snacks. And then it starts to shake and glow, and it gets really hot. And then explodes outward.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And you get, like, you all kind of get pelted by these little pieces of, except for Chainsaw, because he's got, like, a telekinetic aura.
We're back in the air now. I don't need it.
Well, you've got your natural aura that's just, like...
It's true.
And so, and before you stands a rather tall Finfolk man who, what wasn't apparent at the time of, like, when you were viewing the body, is that he is, like, the charisma and presence is pretty much identical to watching, like, somebody at the absolute top of their game drag. Like, pure queen. He is sachet all the way. And he says, "Baby, I knew you could do it. You're so smart." And the name's like, "The fuck are you talking about? I had to get some soul hunters. The consulate's involved. We had to register you as missing."
Yeah, right. That's like, oh god.
And he looks around and he's like, what? But the story? I told you the story. The story is the I told you that story 753 times.
Sorry, out of character. You said he looks like kind of ghosty right now, right? Like it's
Yes.
not like
Oh,
he's
it is
actually
his
here.
soul, not
Yeah.
his body.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're the soul hunters, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, hello.
You're
Aren't those the best?
I think Heather does this like very weird bow curtsy, is like stuck in like I don't know what to do,
Clank,
and then no one's doing anything, and is like, hi.
Happy to help.
So maybe I have some bad news. I'm talking to Nenave, who was like, please stop calling me that. I have been an adult for several decades at this point. And he's like, oh, always a baby in my eyes. But that absolute dipshit who came to attempt to eat my soul.
That's about right.
I mean, I tried. So obviously I didn't want to get soul eaten. Who could ever? I would never. That would be terrible. Could never leave you by yourself. Who would you call? I mean, you know your aunt would never let you live it down. Or me, for that matter. She would search me out. But I did manage to... And he looks around at all of you, and he's like, you have to promise no one knows. If the consulate finds out what I did, I'll be in trouble.
Well, we're just contractors.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So they'll wipe your memory anyway. So...
Nobody talks.
Brain chat.
So
Consul
I...
already does know what he did.
Oh shit.
Well, when I was, I mean, obviously my first thought was for my my daughter. But also, the nice thing about kind of splitting your soul into little pieces is that sometimes you can think of, like, you can pick up a little bit of things along the way. And because I had a lovely anchor, my heart, my soul, I could never, ever leave you. I just followed him for a little while.
Brian? Of the soul, the person who tried to eat your soul?
Yes, because obviously, I was curious.
Oh, what did you see?
Well, he was so mad, which was,
Always makes it so much
Perfect.
better.
It really does. But B, I was curious about how he came to be here. And it turns out, well, at least if he came in the same way he left, he used the Queen of the Dead as a conduit, which I didn't even know was possible. Which is another reason why you just can't say anything. I don't think that's a good thing for, certain elements to know. And at that point, he looks at Lucky. And he's like, you know who I mean.
Okay. As a conduit? Like, did he punch through her? Did he...
Well, it all got kind of fuzzy at that point. We were kind of far away.
Okay.
But... And I had to get back. But she... Well, the Queen of the dead. She's got all these powers, and you know, she's half in this life, half in the next.
Okay. Where is she?
Well, as far as I know, she's in her manor.
Where's the manor?
And look, he's like the Isle of the Seven Queens.
Mm.
Okay. That's really helpful information, actually.
Yeah.
What we're here to do. So,
Oh, good. I'm so glad. And thank you so much for finding me.
of course.
You're welcome.
And then like goes to give you a big hug and then realizes like it's like, oh,
Air kisses.
hair kisses. Oh, tell me my place in line at least got saved. I do not want to be behind everyone who has gone to the gates from between the time that asshole came to send me on my way and now.
Lucky?
Yeah, that was part of the contract, so.
Awesome. Yes.
Yes.
I like giving good news.
Mm.
And as the elder, always hated that term. It's respect, Dad. He's like, kind of like, Lucky is like, no, really, we have to go. You need to go. Because you have a very, like, that's the contract you signed. And he's like, fine. But he goes and he steps aside with Nene for a few minutes. And even though they're not that far away, you actually can't hear what they're talking about. But there's a lot of different, like, emotions going across her face. A lot of emotions going across his face. But in the end, they share the closest that they're going to get to an embrace. And they step back. And he goes, okay, fine. I'll talk to you soon, maybe. She says, okay, Dad, yeah. Kid does a little bow at that point.
Yep.
Like, mwah. Blowing kisses.
So,
How to be in this social situation.
This is why we're
Now
doctors.
I see why everybody loved that guy.
and it turns to y'all and she's like, thank you.
Of course.
That was incredible.
Happy we could help.
I think we have to find the Queen of the Dead. It sounds like that's where the rift is, right? Through her?
Yeah, that's weird.
How do we know if we fixed it?
I don't know.
Didn't we have that Ghostbuster thing?
Yes. The energy reader.
That was a thing. Yeah.
Who has
I don't
that?
remember.
I mean,
Something
we could
had
just
it.
say that whoever wants to have it,
Yeah.
it was stored inside one of
Stored
Bill's
inside Bill.
Bill's
Yes, there we
pockets.
go.
Oh, yeah.
Out of a little pocket.
It's like the arm goes chunk, 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 comes out chunk, 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 with an
Oh,
arm
here you
facing
go,
a different
Soul
way with the
Hunter.
energy reading on top
Bill
of it.
could be like, here you go, Soul Hunter chainsaw.
Oh, I got a new nickname.
So yeah, you wanna use the
Yeah.
energy reader?
Yeah.
Read that energy.
What you can see is that, like, in this area that you're in around, like, the center of town, the readings are all, like, just the same. It's a homogenous thing. And as you go past Like, you walk around town and you see that, like, starting from one end of the horseshoe where the infirmary is, there are dissipating wisps of that. Who remembers what universe Brian came from?
I thought it was
Yellow?
amber.
No,
Amber
Amber's
is
Brian's energy.
Yeah,
Green.
I can look it
Green?
up. I
I think
have
it
it.
was green.
I think you're right.
We're gonna say green.
Yeah.
You see, like, dissipating wisps, almost like when a fog breaks up, like the that marine layer starting to break up at the sky.
Mhm.
And for everyone else who doesn't experience a marine layer, a
I'm-
fog that breaks up when sun hits it.
The notes that I have say it was violet.
Yeah, purple.
Oh, yeah.
So this
'Cause
kind
the
of like
color of the
sickly violet energy starting to like weave its way like back into the aqua blue green of this world, like in the way that it is like weaving in and changing color to like come back into it. So the biggest concentrations of it, which is why you can still see these whips come back in, were at the infirmary, and you still see like just the faintest traces, but they're dissipating even as you look at them, as you go past the rest of the town that you put back together, that like that rebuilding effort that you did. And then when you come to the elder's house, it is like the biggest section that is like working its way back in. And as Nynaeve walks through, you see that there was like a core of violet inside of her chest, like where her heart is, that is fading.
Oh. Oh, so like kind of like she's not always this angry. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that impression when she was like had the rain cloud. It was like, oh.
Yeah. Brian's just always fucking shit up.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So, what do you think?
Seems to be healing, but here at the house, there's still. I know we just talked about it, but like, is it healing at the house, or is
It's
it
healing. It's healing everywhere. It's just that those are like
Hot
where
spots.
it was the strongest.
Mhm.
So it is taking the longest
Mhm.
too. But it is in
that?
Hey, Interstitial, can you hear us? Paging.
and like instead of seeing like the owl form from Quantum Leap, you just get like it's like they're saying like psh, 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 psh.
Like with their mouth.
They're so funny.
Yeah,
Like, that's what I'm supposed to do, right?
that is the accepted sound accompaniment for communications across realms.
You're the expert. Absolutely. How's it looking over here? Is it good?
There is yes, this section of Rift will be taken care of.
Okay.
It incorporated, eaten. No, that
Yeah, that sounds bad.
absorbed.
Okay.
The other section, the other rift, the tear, the wedge,
All good.
it's worsening.
In this universe.
Yes.
Okay.
That must be the queen.
Yeah.
It is exacerbated. It is held open. It is forcing larger. It is tearing at the seams.
That's a good one. And okay, so we'll get there as fast as we can. Thank you, Interstitial.
Yeah.
Good news, more pirate time. Bad time, job not done.
Did you just interstitial on us?
I think so, actually. I think we have to go punch the Raven Queen of Death back together.
Gotta punch her back together. All right.
Hey, Lucky, do you mind if we use your ship for a little longer?
No.
Your Sal? Where's Sal?
Yeah, like Sal's right there next to them,
Okay.
and so and they say like when they hear that the queen is the conduit and the queen is in trouble, they both look incredibly concerned. And Sal says like, yeah, I was gonna go whether or not y'all did.
Okay, that's good news for us. Back on the ocean.
I'll push the winds in our favor. And so he
Kiss
put-
Arabelle goodbye and we go. 'Cause we were obviously making out earlier.
Yes.
so-
Yeah,
Yes,
push
I
push
feel
the
like
winds
that's
in our
the-
favor. It's just the baller end line. I do have to say.
That's a great button.
So this is we was he talking about the rift or reading one of my books? Okay, so that I think is a good end to our session tonight.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for watching and experiencing either now or in the future, unlike Interstitial or the Consulate. Experiences in the past are relegated to the past. I would like to thank our chat mods without whom we could not do a live show. Thank you so much, James V. And everyone who watched or rated and came to join us tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you to our amazing Patreons who keep us ad-free and independent. It is because of you that we are able to play games we enjoy without worrying about publishing companies or system popularity. You can join their heroic ranks at happyjacks.org/Patreon. As usual, I would like to shout out the Nerding Out series that you can get at, I believe, the $5 tier.
So fucking good.
It really is. Like, it's just always so much fun to hear people talk about things that they enjoy so much and to have like a table of people be able to just nerd out. It's great.
Yeah.
And so
If you're listening to this soon, I think the Star Wars one just came out or is about to come out. And you know,
Hell
like
yeah.
I don't know if you're into a Star Wars, but like I'm real fucking excited about that one.
it's gonna be real good. So let's start with Jason.
Oh yeah, hi, I'm Jason. I play Sarah here on Pinnacles. I mean Heather. I play Heather. Sorry, I was looking at Sarah and that word came out of my mouth.
Played Sarah like a fiddle.
I have wanted to get Pooja in the GM seat for a long time because I knew this would be this awesome, and I'm very proud of myself for being so goddamn right.
Yes.
So, you can follow me on Twitch and Twitter at It's Probably Okay. I stream on my channel Wednesdays and Fridays usually. I streamed a bunch extra this week because I was sick. So you know, that's what my brain could do was play video games on the internet. And then we're gonna get back to all the shit I'm supposed to be doing this week for my book that just came out. Or just arrived at my house, I should say, needs to go out. It is a physical, real thing in my hands.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud of how it looks. And so once that goes out to the backers, then there will be copies for sale as well. But very excited that that's happening. You can go to probablyokgames.com to sign up for the newsletter, get the PDF, any of that kind of stuff is available now.
Hell yeah. I've been Sarah and also Kit. You can find me anywhere on the internet under Sarah is Coffee, except for Instagram where I'm Sarah_is_coffee. Since the shop where I bought a really cool print from today is now closed, I have nothing to plug. Bye.
Hi, my name is Eli. I've been playing Hector. And I have nothing to plug, as usual, per use. Just thank you, Pooja. It's fucking awesome.
Yay, thank you for joining.
Yes. I'm Enge, and I play Chainsaw. And you can find me on the internet. That's it.
Find me.
I'm out there on the internet.
Find me lawnmower style. No, not that way.
Find me in the future.
Hi, I am Pooja, and you can find me on the internet as Forgotten Saves. If you want to hear me play more ttrpgs, you can find me on the Happy Jacks back catalog. You can find me on the 12 Stories Stories back catalog, and you can find me calling episode 9 of 10, so the penultimate episode of Mekong is coming out tomorrow on Queen's Court Games. If you want to catch up with that, it is on the Queen's Court Games, Other Mischief podcast feed, or on their YouTube channel. Join us next Sunday for our next session. If you want to catch up on past episodes, visit happyjacks.org/Pinnacles. And if you want to find all of the other actual plays on the Happy Jacks network, visit happyjacks.org for thousands and thousands of hours of all the APs from all the different systems you could ever want. And, you know, the award-winning, wonderful Unsung Tales, jammed by Kimi. That cast was fantastic. Speaking of things I love, Lord of the Rings. Come on. Just as a random plug. I love it. See you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.